There's our first pixel right there. 1 frame. Next frame, he's dead. So we're talking like not even a 10th of a second. That's a crazy shot. That's just insane. I'm just gonna call Prophet Junior. That's what I'm gonna do. Junior. We're just gonna call Prophet Junior. Okay. I mean, he's got to be younger, right? So we'll just call him Junior. Big P. I'm not saying Big P. I'm not saying I absolutely refuse to say Big P. That's not happening. I'm not saying Big P. And I'm not saying Little P either. So we're gonna go with Junior. All right, so Seoul Dynasty. Let me pull up the rosters here and the Spark. So this is going to be Hangzhou, I think it's pronounced. Hangzhou Spark. Hangzhou Spark. Gushui Shai. I assume this is 20 is the tank. Because 20 is more of the off-tank specialist, and this is obviously Sigma, so I assume this is 20, who would be normal. Let's leave in the top. So it's Shy. We're going from over here. So it's Shy, Leave, 20, Monk, Lengza, and then Prophet, Junior, Void, Krillin, and then who is the support? Is that Lee Sumin? Never heard of Lee Sumin. 2005. That is just crazy. This player was born in 2005. That is just insanity to me. So yeah. 20 is Elsa? Elsa? Really? Elsa's not even on the Spark. Was it just a sub? Is it a rumor that Elsa's on? Wait. Oh, it's a rename. Oh, got it. All coming together. Got it. I was so confused. Okay, so we'll take a look here. So double sniper, double sniper is pretty straightforward, y'all. Like, it is just control better angles, have better mechanics. How you control the angles a lot of the times comes down into like which sightline is better for which hero. So Widowmaker's longer sightline, Hans is a little bit of a tighter sightline, more mobility options as well. The tank trades on main are very important because if your tank has to end up giving space, then the enemy tank can often control your snipers. Like, here's the thing, with both Sigmas want to try and help their snipers control space, so they might try and push the enemy snipers. That's how Sigmas control space. They don't generally shield their snipers because they don't always want to be sitting next to their Widowmaker the entire time, while the enemy Sigma pushes the enemy's DPS. You oftentimes will have Sigmas controlling main because somebody has to be on card, and then looking to, if they can, either shield or spam the enemy backline or the enemy snipers. If you lose the cooldown trade on main as Sigma, that means you will give up space, and then by giving up space, you enable the enemy Sigma to then start pushing your backline. So oftentimes the defending Sigma is trying to mark the enemy Sigma to prevent him from pushing his own snipers, or look for opportunities to push the enemy snipers himself. Now, what the DPS do is one of two things. The supports do, excuse me. The supports are either going to be prioritizing on keeping their tank alive, number one, or number two, going to be enabling their DPS, or number three, looking for angles themselves. Now, BAP is tricky. BAP is so boring. I'm not gonna lie with you, because BAP is so boring in these mirrors. Yes, you can use PC codes on console, because a lot of what BAP does is just dump healing into a Sigma, shoot enemy Sigma and Sigma shields so that his Sigma wins the trade, but you actually really can never peek snipers unless they're under a lot of pressure. Like, you really don't feel safe peeking Hanzo, you don't really feel safe peeking Zen, you don't really feel safe peeking BAP. So his damage and his healing is useful in the composition, and his BAP window is really good, but BAP is like the most indirect passive support of all time in the sniper mirrors, especially since the death of double shield, because there's not a lot that you can shoot without actually getting shot in the face. BAP sucks in the sniper mirrors, not because the hero is bad, the hero is very good, but it feels really boring to play. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, okay? Ana is an interesting one because it means that your Sigma is going to be losing the shield trade. However, Ana is a little bit more comfortable taking sniper duels. She's not great at it, but she's better than BAP as. There's actually like more damage threat. I think Nano is probably a little bit worse given how like angles are opened up. However, you could see a world here where you know, an anti on a Hangzhou on a flank is really powerful. An anti on a Sigma, if you can land it, is pretty powerful. It's a strange choice. I'll be honest with you guys. I actually think that Kiriko has a pretty good argument for being okay, because Kiriko is also pretty decent in the sniper trade. You can heal your tank okay, and then the verticality of the map really, really rewards vertical mobility. So I think like I think that Ana is a strange choice, honestly, with you guys. I don't see nade value getting a lot of value because it's going to be hard to follow up on it. I don't see Nano getting as much value. I don't see Sleep Dart is very hard to get value out of in this composition. And then also, like I said, the verticality of the map alone also makes something like a BAP or Kiriko attractive. So I would prefer Kiriko Zen or BAP Zen personally, but the defending Ana does have a positioning setup. And I would also find it really cool that if they figured out a way to get value out of Ana, that would be a meta evolving or meta developing thing. And maybe they swap to like ball later on, where like your ball because the ball works well, because the ball can, when your ball is slamming, you can peek the snipers easily as Ana and do really good damage. And then also the nano on balls can be helpful as well. So yes, no, we're just getting started, y'all. We're getting started a little bit early. Let's take a look. But then all that being said, mechanics. So Junior's on a really aggressive angle here. This is just a cheese shot. That is a little bit risky there. But, you know, I like the ego. And the way different cooldowns, let's talk about the way different cooldowns are used. So Rock is usually used in the Sigma trade on a map like Junkertown, but if you can land it on a DPS, that can really help. That can really, like, you can kill the DPS or the backliner every single time. Discord will often be used on enemy Sigma, but if you can ever put it on a DPS, again, that's a huge advantage. It's just Discord is a little bit less valuable because if a target gets shot by anything, they generally die. Discord doesn't really help a lot unless it's the tank trade itself. I'm a little confused about the Ana cooldowns. We'll figure out how they're trying to use it. I imagine they're probably going to try to use it to win the tank trade if they can, but that's going to take a lot of skill into Sigma. It's a lot harder to use your cooldowns into a Sigma than it is versus other tanks because of shift and shield. BAP is going to be shooting Sigma shield and healing his Sigma if there isn't a lot complicated there. If his Sigma gets rocked and is low, he will preemptively lamp it more often than not. Zenyatta's can play pretty flexible with their positioning. So Zenyatta should be thinking almost like a third sniper, just a sniper that has a little bit have to be a little bit careful, right? So your Zenyatta's will probably be swinging, maybe looking to help their Hangzhou here, maybe spamming the Sigma shield, maybe swinging wide here, maybe looking for a cheeky right click on a flank here. But they have to be a little bit careful with their lack of range. Widow's grapple will almost exclusively be used to shift angles or to take grapple shots, which is basically the same thing. It's an unpredictable reposition. Venomine is almost completely irrelevant outside of if you were to Venomine a flank like this to give scouting on the enemy Hangzhou. Storm Arrow will be almost used exclusively in duels and very rarely to use on Sigma Shield because Sigma Shield will be breaking fast anyway, just from BAP spam, Ana spam, Sigma spam, and even Zen spam. And then Sonic Arrow is probably one of the most important cooldowns just for giving scouting on angles and flanks. A Sonic here often will make this flank very, very difficult to use. A Sonic under here. If you find the Widow and Sonic are here, this gives your Widow a huge advantage, and so on. I guess Ana's better at healing split teammates wherever I have to stack on BAP. That's true, but generally the splitting will occur on your DPS who only really need an Harmony Orb anyway, and probably don't need as much of the healing from Ana. But that is probably one of the small little strengths that you can get from Ana. Let's see how much it's actually exploited here. As always, if you guys have any questions, just scream and holler in chat, and we'll take a look. So you could already see the Sonic there being used to give information on leave, making it difficult for him to peek. Void really would, I mean, both Sigmas would love to not shoot the enemy Sigma, but both Sigmas are not always going to get that opportunity to. Sigma is played in this comp because Sigma is really good at winning 1v1s versus snipers. That's a nice shot, it looks like, from Shy here. He's looking for the grapple. Yep, that's a nice shot from Shy, and that's going to force the shift. And that's the thing, is like, even just shooting a tank here, if you're able to hit the shot, can win a cooldown trade. And so now Void is AFK. That gives Leave an extra, a little couple of seconds to take space. Monk is on the angle. Junior. That's just a good shot, right? Now, let me ask you guys a question. What sets up this shot? Do you guys see it? What allows this shot to happen? Sonic on the Widow. So, first off, Junior has confidence that we know where it is, but it's the Prophet flank, right? The Prophet flank. Prophet flank is what causes this to be a concern. You see that? Now, the irony here is I wonder if a Sonic on the flank would have been better than the Sonic on the Widow. I'm not sure. Both are good, but it is pretty funny that one set up the other. That's how double sniper works. That right there is how double sniper works. You have to have the mechanics to hit that shot, but those windows of opportunity are created by setting up crossfires. And this flank right here is like exclusively Hangzhou land. Like this little wall climb, this tighter angle with Zen flank. Like this is like textbook. Like Junkertown is almost like, I wouldn't say solved with double sniper, but it's been played for so long with sniper comps that a lot of the positions are like pretty well set out. Now this is pretty interesting from Monk. But yeah, I mean, if he gets a drop on Junior there, like we could see a W. All right. Again, the Sonic is going on the flank on Prophet. Now, this is really cool here. So, Junior's over here holding this back angle. The grapple there is a little strange. But that's how we use grapple in the double sniper mirror. Shy thinks he knows where Junior is. And so he goes, I know where Junior is. I have a general idea of where Junior is. I betcha that Junior will not expect me to be just appearing here. Now, it's like one of those things where, like, over time, people kind of figure this out. Hey, Striker. Nothing much. We just started. Can't Zen on a play split? Yes, I mean, that's probably what they're doing. The problem why you don't have a huge split here is the splits don't have a lot of cover. So, like, Zenyatta would, if he was playing over here, he'd get... The sniper would just take a duel and he'd die. So you will see Zen on a split probably more when there's more space to, but the reason why we have most of the time the supports playing here is because the splits aren't that good for cover usage. Now your Zen might walk up here with Hanzo and your Ana might kind of play here, so there will be splitting, but it's hard to get a good split here. But yeah, this is just setting up a different angle. Like everything about Widowmaker is making the enemy Widowmaker move their crosshair, move it more than you use yours, move yours. And this is what this is doing. Shy's crosshair is moving because he's grappling. However, if Junior over here wants to take a shot, he's going to have to flick his crosshair up, whereas Shy is already pre-aimed where he thinks Junior is. So, whatever. You know, it's a dice roll right there. Now, Void has to be really careful about what he's doing there. But I will say, look at the timing of this aggression from Void. Do you guys see this? And this is why when we talk about, like, it's a Korean term called a turn. A turn is essentially a pressure cycle where you use your cooldowns and synchronize your pressure at the same time. It's like a dive, right? Like a Winston dive. I mean, Winston dive is like a very clear answer of it because it's a bubble, right? But Sigma's dive too. Look at Sigma. Sigma is diving right now. Sigma is pressuring, right? A turn. Yes, a turn. It's a Korean term, all right? And so right now, the shield and spam is being committed, which means that everybody is focused on Void. And when everybody's focused on Void, nobody's focused on helping their Widow. And when nobody's focused on helping their Widow, the Widow doesn't get healing. The Hanzo here doesn't get controlled by Leave. And so then Prophet can take an angle and shoot Shy. It's a Korean Overwatch term. Maybe they stole it from card games. So that's how double sniper works. Now I want to know how Krillin died. He's trolling. Sometimes it ain't that deep. His Sigma is out, so when Sigma is out, Leave has nothing to think about in terms of shooting shield. You see? So Sigma's out, and then look at Krillin. Hey everybody, it's me. You know. Like Prophet even in the, you can almost look at like Prophet almost gets another kill here because his Zen feeds. Look. But they're screaming. I guarantee you, Monk right now is like, hey, watch out. You know? But yeah. I mean, we don't have to use the term turn. The only reason I like the word term is because it's one word rather than cycle or pressure, which is a little bit longer. But it doesn't matter. I just thought it'd be cool for you guys to know. I'm just sharing knowledge, guys. But yeah, I mean, this is good. This is good. They win because of the Zen trade. They were able to take space on main. Now the problem here is winning the war on main isn't like a huge advantage. because it opens you up to things like this. Like if Prophet is even getting healing over here with, like, let's say Zen's still alive and didn't feed, like this means that literally Zen Hanzo can hard flank here, and they won't get punished. So I'm curious to see the big thing here that I've got my eyes on Monk right now, because Monk has a sick angle as long as he doesn't peak Junior, and if from this angle he can either win the Widow trade or he can get a good angle on Void, where Void can't hide without getting spammed. So Monk could do either one of these things and get value. He's going for the high risk, high reward play. And there you go. He hits the shots, and we go from there. At the same time, though, Prophet... It's angles, guys. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's at a perfect time as well. Nobody's thinking about Prophet right now. GG's. Lengsa should die. It's actually a bit of a misplay from Prophet, but then Prophet gets out, the damage is already done. This fight should, unless something crazy happens mechanically, this fight should be won. It's a good use of Nano. Great use of Nano. Really the most value they could possibly get out of it. I don't know why people weren't dying sooner. That must have been a lot of missed shots. Junior is struggling a little bit. There's a good shot. Like, even Prophet, I felt like, should have been hitting more damage than he did there. The Widow does come back from spawn, which is a little bit hairy. But yeah, ooh, Junior. So they know where he is, but he also knows where the enemy Widow is, so he grapples. Brilliant. Yeah, so that's really on Leave to control that angle better. And what you'll see sometimes as well, it's a little bit more high risk, high reward, but you'll see Sigma's, Elsa, for example, could roll out here, shield, spam, and then help his Hanzo, like, establish this angle from here, or Sonic this angle from here, and then drop from here. But yeah, I do think they stacked too hard there. Yeah. I mean, it's hard, right? Because it's so much harder for your Zen to support your Hanzo there, because you're on the floor. But yeah, I mean, that's the downside of Monk going for these crazy plays. He is controlling a lot of space, but it does mean Leave doesn't necessarily win the duel as much. Sus? I mean, look at this. This is all predicting rollouts. He's expecting the grapple. Ooh. Haha. So this is just a fast rotation, and they're going to try and bap window and catch the on his end. Even if you don't have a Lucio, you can catch supports. So, like, look at Lee Sumin. Watch Lee Sumin. Even with sights, he's not expecting this. He's not expecting that at all. They're a little bit tighter there. They could have caught him. But yeah, the one problem with this, though, is that obviously if it doesn't work immediately, then you are... Wait, what happens with the back window? Does Lengsa mess it up? Because I can't tell if this is big brain or... No, this is on purpose. It just doesn't quite work out. But obviously, like, by doing this, you do forfeit kind of the entire map by being in there. So let's see. There's the trance. That's a nice dragon. How come Junior's able to swing so wide? Oh, he sees grapple. He sees grapple, so then that Widow can't reposition, so he can do this. Oh, Shy! What? How does Shy move so fast? Well, he just runs. Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, so we're getting caught into a really messy brawl mirror, and everything's kind of falling apart in the flanks from both sides, really. I mean, your backline's just gonna straight up die. Like, it's just the flanks, guys. It's just the flanks. Like, Leave controls this angle, right? Right? Kind of. They just get crossfired. So what do I want Spark to do here? What do I want Spark to do here? I want Spark... Window main. No, I think this is an okay play. I will say Monk's angles haven't felt very good. It feels like he's constantly having to deal with a Widow LOS. Maybe he was expecting them to kite. I think the problem is that he was expecting them to kite into here and then hit the right click. But I think him being able to be here would have been really helpful as well. Toxic Sword, hey mate, thanks for the sub. So Shy hits the kill. How does Elsa die so fast? Oh, we don't have shift. Go push. We don't hit the shift. Maybe it's just a good dragon. Yeah, it's just the dragon. He gets split by the dragon. And then he's not in a position to get tranced. And then Leave dies. Even the best of us. Yeah, too. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't feel. The timing of the window is a little goofy, I guess, with Shy peeking late. I don't know. And then obviously Void is able to just walk on backline. And then Elsa. Okay, there's one kill set up. This is still winnable though. We still have our trance, and Shy was able to take a massive angle. Oh, that's just disgusting. Was Shy not able to build enough distance here? Oh, this is a bad grapple. This is a bad grapple. So like right here, this is just not near far enough. Like he needs to be in Narnia. If he's here, this goes entirely different. That and just disgusting rock from Void. Oh my gosh, Monk. Oh my gosh. And this is the double sniper, guys. Like we can break down the macro all the way we want, but people are hitting rocks and people are hitting shots, and so stuff just happens. It's just it's sometimes it's just that simple. Prophet again. Prophet is trolling. No way this works. No way this works. Where is our Sonic? Where's my Sonic? So he's Sonicking the Widowmaker, but geez, Prophet is just getting away with absolute murder. You think they're gonna make Prophet change his name? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I doubt it. I mean, like, I doubt it. Flux is also really bad from Ilsa. Yeah, that's just not a good flux. So the qualifications for a good flux is that you flux in front of your team's LOS, which we don't have very good LOS on this. But the more important thing is that the guy doesn't have shift. Like even though they don't have lamp, this is just not going to work. It's just way too easy. Like at best, it gives him an advantage in the cooldown trade. But like imagine if we had flux like now and we actually caught Hangzhou, or if we'd forced shift out first. Yeah, I don't know. That being said, oh jeez, that's just such a fat flux. Such a fat flux. Junior. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Look at this. There's even a turn. There's even a turn with Widowmaker duels, where you peek at the same time as your team is pressuring, because look at what, do you see what Shy was looking at there? He's looking at Void. He's not thinking about the enemy Widowmaker. So then it's wide open. Perfect peek from Prophet. Awesome alliteration. Yeah. That's the nade value, by the way, pushing in there. Okay. So far, Junior's done fine. There it is. There's the element of surprise. The Widow is somewhere there. Okay, the Widow's not there. There it is. Oh, like that. Like, how do you even react to that? Like, that's insanity. Wow. I'm calling him Junior, it's just easier. I'm not calling Big P or Little P. It's just corny. Junior's corny enough as it is. Ah, the Nano Hanzo! I mean, hey, listen, if we could get our Hanzo, you know, going Rambo mode, yeah, absolutely, this is a good use of the cooldown. It's a little bit inconsistent, I'm sure, but yeah, that works. God, what? How? No, what? How are we dying to this? That's unfortunate. Okay, that one's a little bit unfortunate, but how is my Ana dying? Oh, come on. Stop hard scoping in front of a Sigma! You don't even nade off. Oh, disaster. That is a huge misplay. No way we lose this fight to that. Disaster. Alright. PH is a good one too. That one's pretty simple. Profit. This is this guy, man. Not touchable though. So on impact has been, I mean, really both support, the support impact in general has been not super great. Okay, what's going on here with Lengsa? Lengsa is able to close the distance. Oh, clean. Fit and Fet. Main supports on Ana, am I right? I mean, listen, you're not wrong. I mean, wait, let's check out Lisuman. Is Lisuman... Lisuman's got, looks like got reps on Ana at least. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't follow contenders well enough to know Lisuman's hero pool, sadly. You guys will have to fill me in on that. Are sniper comps the most mechanically intense comps? Yes, 100%. Listen, when you have me talking about mechanics a lot, more so than boring old macro and timing and angles, then yeah, it's pretty mechanical. I mean, obviously the map control and the angles matter a lot, but yeah, they're very important. So we want to see a Sonic. Where is our Sonic here? So the real balance with Sonic, that's a bad Sonic. That's a bad Sonic. I think that's a bad Sonic. So the problem is that you can guarantee that Widow is either bottom right. I mean, you could literally see Widow bottom right. This Sonic needs to be here. Or you need your Sonic here so that you know when you can take space. This is also really questionable from Prophet. I don't know. We needed a Sonic up there. I don't even think he knew that Sigma was... Yeah, he didn't even know Sigma was up there because he misplaced the Sonic. This is just silly. Lee Sumin is a flex support. I mean, maybe it's like a Violet situation where one of them has to be put on Lucio duty at some point in the season. Yeah, this is just silly. There's not a lot to say here. This is just silly. Like, a lot of these fights... I mean, remember, guys, we're still in early season scrims, so the fact that a lot of these fights have just been decided by really dumb mistakes isn't really shocking to me. I mean, again, case in point, like, Elsa's just like, I'm gonna call Elsa 20, Elsa, I promise like, I'll adjust, but like, 20's just like, okay. I mean, this is like falling asleep at the wheel, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna, I mean, good shots, to be honest with y'all, but yeah. Krillin has been playing Lucio, good to know. Sorry, flirting with my wife, disregard. Where's my Sonic, Leaf? Where's my Sonic? Where's my Sonic? I guess we're counting on Infrasight, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so good Infrasight from both teams, makes sense. Honestly, maybe not even good. Okay, okay, so chat.
No one can hide from my sight.
Yeah, this is fine, this is fine. I was gonna say, I was gonna have a big conversation about it, but I actually think this is just fine. Pets. Mari, come here. Hang on. We have to do this quick. Grimby, come here. Grim. My cats love me, cat. They're obsessed with food. Come here, hang on. Mari, come here. Here's your cameo. There you go. Hi. She actually sits in my lap a lot of the times during the review. She jumps up in my lap. I feel like paws on my legs, and she's just sitting there and waiting for me to pick her up. Getting dono walled by cats? What did I miss? Do I think Krillin is good as Iris or Iris? People call him Iris. I think his name is supposed to be Iris, or at least the way it's pronounced. But even though but yeah. Yeah, she's in my lap during a lot of the reviews. Okay, let's see how this is retaken. So the ways that you can retake is you can either brute force it, right? You can just cheat. Let's just walk out with trance, flux, dragon, run it down, or we could try and retake space or angles. The problem with that is that obviously because the enemy team has sights, they know what angles we're going to be trying to be taking, and because they're on defense, they have the advantage of stuffing those angles. So what we might see here is one of the DPS or supports tries to do something cheeky. Like you could have Krillin, especially because Trance has been used, or Flux has been used. Iris last season. Yeah, Iris. I mean, I know that from contenders. What you could have these guys do is have like Ana and Sigma like retake from here. And maybe with like Hangzhou, Widow kind of going up top. And I would not be mad if Krillin went on a hard flank. Because he has Trance. Remember, Trance can be used in two ways: to save a tank, or it can be used to kind of enable aggression. And just have Krillin try to create as much space as he possibly can with his Trance. I think I would like that most. So they're gonna drag. Oh my gosh, this is what I'm talking about. Mistakes, guys. Like, what is there to review here? It's a good dragon. I mean, it's honestly a little bit disappointing sometimes, like the number of fights that have been lost by this in the Owl reviews that I've done, where it's like, remember the London Vancouver Brawl review, guys? It was just horrible. Like it was just horrible. Like it was just oh, Hottie hit a window fire strike, you know, or like, you know, somebody hit a shot, or, you know, Backbone hit an icicle. It's just so boring. They are going to commit to the win, though. That's going to force almost an immediate Trance or Flux. They don't even need... They're not even going to. Okay, so I guess Prophet's going to be the one late flanking here. I was wondering who's going to be taking the angle. It is Prophet. Junior is taking a really not great sightline. He's going to try... you know what? Okay, you know what, guys? I'm just so done. I'm so done. I'm so done. I'm... Like, what is this? Like... This Sigma should just be pushing into you, right? But why? What happened to 20? Oh, I guess. You know what, Chad? I lied. Maybe they call Sigmas here, and that's why Junior rotates. Because I can't see any other reason why Junior would get away with this rotation. Because Sigma just walk on you, right? But if you've done it here, maybe that's why it works. There's the Trance. We shouldn't need anything else. Let's push out Leave, and we win the fight. They're looking for Leave. Where's Leave? Where's Leave? Where's Leave? Where's Leave? Where's Leave? Where's Leave? And then there's the late flank by Prophet. Wait, what? Ha! That's hilarious. Yeah. Just very confident on the Widow duel. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. I mean, it really just came down to Monk dies with Trance in a dragon. It's not that deep. I will say this now, though, is that this is where we're going to have the really interesting question of how is Trance used, or Nano used. I imagine more often than not, it's going to be used on Sigma, because that's going to be the guy that's going to be able to actually push things, even if it's just the enemy Sigma. If we're able to set up Prophet in an aggressive angle, I would really like the Nano Hanzo. I think Nano Hanzo is probably your best Nano target if you can set it up. It's got to be better than Sigma, because he actually has a little bit of the mobility and like the Storm Arrow to actually get use out of it. I just think Monk got caught with his pants down. I don't think it's that deep, guys. Like, I think he thought that he could get out of Dragon and he just died with it. That's it. He was not expecting that. So yeah. Nano Krillin. Well, yeah, the problem with Zen though is that Nano Zen was really good in like dive mirrors because you could always duel a Sombra or a Tracer or a Winston who had jumped in. But the problem with Nano Zen now is he does not as mobile as a Hanzo, and because remember that the aggression is what Nano gets value out of. And Zen is just too slow. Like in there. And I think Hans is the better hero for the in there. Either that or Sigma. We could also just sit on Nano and use it for full defensive purposes as well. It's a really like lame way to use it, but you could, I guess. So we talked a lot about this back in the Circuit Royale matchup. If you guys remember, was it like Kaluge on Sigma? But it's a lot of like fluxing is just going to be about... Flux is actually better than trance in a lot of ways in the sniper matchup. Because if you are able to lift a squishy, trance will not save the squishy unless it's Zen. You can headshot them through the flux when you're running double snipers. So let's see. We really need the flux to capture somebody other than just Zen and somebody other than just Sigma. Because as you saw earlier, even a Flux Sigma, as long as the Sigma has his shift, it's really, really hard. So either we can force Sigma shift and then Flux him, that will guarantee force the trance and force the Zen to reposition, or we go for either like Bap or Hangzhou, who if either of those guys get Flux, they die, regardless of the trance. So he's really... Now, they have to touch cart, which is really good. This is what I talked about with Rock, right? If you could hit this guy with Rock, it's over. Like, this might be it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bet... Take your bets, guys. Does this Rock hit? If you guys have seen this VOD, don't bet, because I haven't seen it. If this Rock hits, I imagine this is GG's right here. Have the scrims only been in maps that are in the current map rotation? No, I don't think so, because we saw Hollywood with London the other day. I think it hits. I think it hits. I think it hits, and I think that's map. All right, let's find out. I mean, this is kind of silly from Leave. Oh man, he had his lunge. Okay. All right. Well, either way. I mean, it puts him out in the open now, so, you know, this is and this is it. Like, he sees the Hangzhou Bap, this is it. Now, the only problem with this is obviously only he can see them. So this trance will save Leave and Lingsa. However, it's at a really bad time right now because they have to touch. So now Elsa is going to have to... Oh, it wasn't! Holy crap, this is actually an S tier play. Chat, check this out. Flux, but look who's in a... I didn't even notice this. Look who's in a position to catch the Flux. Do you see this? And this is the crazy thing. Leave knows where Hangzhou is. And he knows who the real threat is here. Holy crap. This is so good. This is the best play that we've seen just yet. He doesn't even care about Sigma. He knows where the follow-up is. And even if he doesn't hit the shot here, he will probably force Prophet. He'll spook Prophet into getting out, right? That's amazing. Wow, that's crazy. What a play. That's a map winning play right there. Now, the real question is this still one? Show the Leave shot? Yeah, sure. Business as usual. And Leave, guess what? Leave doesn't just run it down. Leave takes the angle. So the question here is this map won because of the kill? I don't know. Because Seoul still has better fight positioning, right? Leave and Shy are trying to take it away, but they still have better fight positioning. So chat, Nano Sigma surely on backline. I don't know. This one could go either way. I also respect, like I said, this is where we need to go. Can they force Krillin out? Oh, monstrous kill. So I don't like this from Shy that much, actually. I think for Shy here, you would take an angle on the Sigma here, shoot Sigma, and let your Hangzhou go first to clear the area, and then go from there. But Krillin absolutely owns him. This is it. If Leave can win this trade, I think they can win this fight. But Leave has to get rid of Krillin. Otherwise Nano Sigma is just going to completely run over backline. You could already see Void. Void is thinking about it. There's the Nano. And he's in. He's in. He's in. He's in. That's it. That's probably it. Even with the 2v2. This Sigma should win that one. That's crazy. That's crazy. What? Krillin does so much this fight. Hits the kill on Widow, forces Hangzhou down, egos, forces Lamp. That's wild. It's actually such a tragedy as well that Lengset used cooldowns like he did. Because if you look at this fight again, and just pretend that we had Shift and Lamp, I think this fight goes a lot differently. Like, obviously he had to probably use it there, but that like actually ends up being like so expensive. And that Shift wasn't good either. That Shift would have saved... Oh, dude, that Shift actually is such a troll. Oh, it's coming full circle. It's 2021 again, and Spilo is talking about Shift usage. This Shift is such a troll. Look at this, y'all. This is literally what loses them the map. Because Void gets actually so low, this Shift would have potentially kept Lengsa up as he walks up. Even if Lengsa dies, this 100% keeps Leave up a little bit longer. And I think with Discord, and Leave gets one more shot, Leave hits those. Leave hits those. Spilo Nemesis. Yep. As Nemesis. Leave hits those. And with Void dead, it's Hangzhou and Zen versus Ana. Your BAP dies either way, but yeah. BAP shifts and Sojourneys. It's like, it's beautiful. Whee! Okay, some good plays there. Some good plays there. Some nice plays. That was pretty fun. Okay, let's check this out. He just dies instantly there if he doesn't use Shift, right? No. Let's watch. So Lamp is fine. We're being healed up. He's 80 HP. Passive regen. He gets shot at by Ana and naded. Or he misses the shot. I don't know. I understand the logic that you guys are like, oh, he's low. But I think Shift is probably so important here that we needed to even chill just a second. If we could have just egoed it. So I will, you know what I will say? I don't think it's so much as a mistake from Lingsa, so much as hindsight coaching. Fair point. I don't think the Shift was bad, but if we had been able to greet it half a second or 1 second later, we would have won that fight. So fair point. I think the peak is bad. I think there was a miscommunication about who could touch cart, and that's why he peaked. Exclamation mark codes. They got leaked on somebody's stream. I forget who it was. Ah, Prophet. Just a little bit of ego. Leave stream. Could you explain the difference between the on and bat pick? We talked about it a little bit earlier. It's more of a personal preference thing. I think you lose a lot of shield pressure, and I think bat cooldowns are probably better in the trade, at least more consistent. But if you're able to like land nades on the tank trade, it might be better than Lamp. I honestly, I'm a little confused. I didn't see a lot that fight that showed me that Ana is better. The nano on defense was definitely pretty good, but I think Ana might be a little bit harder to set up good nanos on attack. So I am healthily skeptical, but I am excited to be proven wrong because they definitely have seen something that maybe we haven't seen, or maybe they just have hero strengths that line up differently. They probably testing. Could be, yeah. They force out the off angle. Oh my gosh, this is just... And this is the thing, guys. When you're playing versus double sniper composition, you have to have like your mind checking for whenever the grapple is available, because like it's just, it makes every rotation agony, you know? This is kind of a cute rotation, by the way, though. Did you guys see this? Like, that's a pretty cool rotation. And the reason why you would do this is because it reduces the odds that you get picked in rotation when you're moving from here to here, because you have to cross out in the open, right? Even if it's behind cart. And it also minimizes the risk of Leave taking this off angle here and shooting you as you're rotating here. So obviously he got shot on rotation, so it's like, well, duh, that didn't obviously work. But the idea is there. If we're able to synchronize this one a little bit better on grapple, we can immediately drop and immediately we're on this corner without having to do anything. Yeah. So cool stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out, at least for Krillin, but I honestly think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's extremely stressful. It's extremely stressful, 100%. Because the thing is, like, even if you have like the biggest ult bank in the world, it doesn't mean really anything. This is honestly kind of stupid from Void. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is, like, I guess this is where we're allowing Ana to show her true colors. But we're down Zen. I don't understand why Void is egoing this so hard. I don't know what he sees. He's at a disadvantage man-wise. He catches 20 a little bit off guard, but then like very high risk that he just dies there. I will say this. There could be a strategy behind the Ana pick where, like, if you aggressively take the Sigma trade at like point blank range, it's a lot easier to get sleep and nade value. Like you saw, nade got pretty good value there, right? Maybe not great value, but I got pretty decent value because it like helps your tank stay alive as well. But I would never do that 4v5. Who London played for DPS on circuit last year? What do you mean? Spark or Backbone? We tried Shax. I think we might have played Shax at some point, but Tracer was too hard. He had his cooldown, so I think he was fine no matter what. Not in double sniper. If this Widow has a slightly better angle, you're dead. You're already dead. Like, how low did we dip there? Enemy vector calculated. 148. 68. Widow sneezes your direction and you die. And you go, oh, unlucky. But no, it wasn't unlucky. I don't remember. I don't remember what we played in Double Sniper, honestly, guys. It's been so long. I think it was a little bit of Backbone and Genji or Hanzo. I honestly don't remember. I don't even know if we played Double Sniper on that map in a long time. Yeah, okay. So, Junior's on the flank. That's baiting a shot right there. He's kind of waiting, and he's trying to bait the shot. And you can do this a lot when you feel like you have a disadvantage in the Widow duel. Is just like try and bait the shot, and then once that shot is taken, you can immediately scope in and have an advantage in the duel. It's just interesting to me that like how much resource is being put into the fight on main, and how like Leave just feels like he's not exactly like what? Like he's not exactly losing this trade. But I'm interested to see, like, okay, so this is like maybe a difference in playstyle right here. So look at Monk's playstyle here, and remember what Krillin was doing? Now, obviously, Void gets low, so maybe that's why he's here. But this feels very selfish, right? Which is, it has its upsides and downsides, right? But we're not really concerned about helping Hangzhou at all. Like, this feels very selfish, right? Very selfish. So then, Leave ends up losing this angle here. And this is actually hilarious. Check this out. Check out this wombo combo. You know? That's crazy. That's wild. Also, this is the Ana value. If we're able to get to backline, this works. Massive nade. Obviously, ends up costing him, but you know, we're not gonna judge. No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. I don't know, y'all. I can't. Like, there's lots to learn, and then just ridiculous crap like this happens. Like, what? How? How does he just die? Like, what? He literally is in front of his Baptiste. And he just straight up dies. Because we can't heal through shield. I mean, it's a great play by Void. I mean, this is insanity from Void right now. This is like carry potential right here. Like, this is crazy. Also, let's check out Junior. That's wild, mate. That's wild. Discord OP. I mean, yeah, but also Bap just did error. Mechanics, y'all. Good timing and good mechanics. Good timing, Papa John's. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of It's a lot of these like really cheesy like flanks and angles and such, but they do it like really, really well timed. That is something that's kind of cool. Seoul seems less willing to sit there and play nicely. Seoul definitely, whether it's the Ana angles, whether it's Prophet just diving in or Krillin going in hard, Seoul seems very interested in these like little set plays where they go for something really aggressive, try to create chaos, and win the duel through mechanics afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like they're playing a dive comp with snipers, where Void ints, Lee Soo-min ints, Prophet ints, and then using flanks and angles around that, they get an advantage and they win off of it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a unique way of looking at it, and I like it. I think like there's probably a good argument that those kind of set plays should be a little bit less aggressive and maybe more low risk, low reward, maybe. Or maybe not even low risk, low reward, but I don't think we had to go as NT at some points. But I think that's better than sitting AFK on an angle and expecting something to happen. Like it's like we said, the turn idea where Void is inting and somebody else is capitalizing off of it elsewhere. The problem with the Mercy Zen is it's just not, the damage boost just isn't worth it. Like it's not worth it in the raw sniper duel, and Mercy often to cross from point A to point B ends up getting poked out. The damage boost is useful for helping your Hangzhou win the flank, but generally if your Hangzhou hits the shot, whether he's damaged, like let's put it this way, a damage boosted Hangzhou versus a non-damage boosted Hangzhou. If the damage boosted Hangzhou hits a body shot, you still have to take another shot to win the duel. Whereas the non-damage boosted Hangzhou, even with Mercy healing, if he hits 2 body shots in a row, that's the only situation in which the pocketed Hangzhou helps. Damage boosted Hangzhou is really good, but it's not really good when you're damage boosting, you're shooting another Hangzhou. The only advantage I think kind of comes like breaking points matters more in like if double body shots, storm arrow, right? It's just not as important. Right, when you're actually shooting something other than just another sniper, the damage boost matters more. Like the break points matters more. And also stuff like Valk is like not bad, but there's just always a risk that you get shot, you know? This is what we talked about set plays, by the way. Like look at how aggressive they play this. They just don't care. Void wants to push. Void wants to take an angle. He hits a fat rock, they hit a fat nade, and they're helping each other, right? Like look at this. Bang! They just don't care, right? They just don't care. And there's your trance, there's your lamp, complete chaos. And this entire time, it's only a matter of time until either Prophet or Junior hits a shot. Great nade. Like I was doubting the Ana pick, but the way that these teams are playing it is we're getting into like melee range way more than I was expecting. So then the nade is obviously better. Like Ana is better than BAP if you can walk in and nade people. And that's happening way more than I thought it would. On third point, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you know, who knows, chat. Like they're setting them up. Is it better than BAP? I don't know. But we're getting value out of it. That being said, still not a lot of space. Void's trying. There's the Infrasites. Shy is desperately trying to farm his. There's the Nano Sigma dive. Again, proactivity, right? I mean, look at this. Look at again, it's a turn, it's a play. Prophet waits, Prophet's on the corner. And look at this. Look at the timing of this. 1, 2. Now 3. Krillin off angle 4. I mean, this is really hard as attackers, but if you're gonna beat first point or second point defense on Junkertown, it's with stuff like this. Stuff like this. You know, it's not even like Spark has a bad setup here. Like, this is fine from Spark, but if you're gonna beat it, you create chaos. This is almost a 50-50 fight, which is crazy. There it is. There's a pincer. What we talked about, right? The dives. The dives. There's a dive. Look at Prophet. Prophet's like, Widow 1, Widow 1, Widow 1, Widow 1, 1 HP, 1 HP, 1 HP, 1 HP, 1 HP, 1 HP. Oh no! Huh. Seoul Dynasty are very proactive in their double sniper. Very proactive in setting up their angles. They like to have their Sigma or Hangzhou. And even their Ana to an extent, go for an aggressive play and try and find something off of that. This is just a dragon to make sure that they cap. They want to win the map, which is respectful or respectable. I don't know, Blur. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I would have thought that BAP Window would have done more versus teams that are equally skilled. I still feel like Window should do more, but I don't know. If you're able to close the distance with your Sigma or with your Hangzhou, yeah. I mean, this is Battle Honor, right? You have to find Battle Honor. If you can't close the distance, then you can't play this hero. So what I predict is, well, I don't know what I predict, because obviously they don't have a lot of ultimates to push with right here. So I'm not honestly sure how Seoul's going to take this. They might just play slow and try and push the cart and then go from there. Nice shot by Shy. Really nice grapple shot. So now we definitely just chill. It definitely looks like... if you guys can see it here, this looks like Seoul trying to set up another set play. What I would imagine would happen here is that Prophet's probably looking for like a 3-2-1 call from Void. Void might even try and Void might try and shift across or throw his shield out and try and cross aggressively and go straight for backline, and then set up Prophet to go for something aggressive. At the same time, you probably have Junior look for a grapple shot. At the same time, we'll probably have Monk either look to rotate, or Krillin, what I'm saying, try and rotate up top and then look for a set nade on the flank. Now what they'd probably do is they'd probably die, but they would cause a lot of chaos, probably force a lot of ultimates, and maybe 50-50, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Hangzhou aggression, this looks to me like Seoul wanted to push here with Prophet's positioning. But obviously they're down their Zen, so they're going to disengage. But I will be curious to see how they take the next fight. Now, this is a really... Okay, so... actually pretty risky from 20 here. Because 20 drops to push Hangzhou, which then exposes his backline to being pushed at the same time. So if he does not get the kill on Prophet, this could be really bad for his team. Now, the funny thing here is, though, it looks like he just gets one shot. Whoa, Pixel. What?
You must like having me around.
What? This is like the millisecond. Honestly, you guys can't even... Let me put it in for you in perspective. You cannot react to this fast. You literally cannot react to this. As I'm saying for Shy. Shy cannot react to the shift ending. This is a prediction. He's guessing. And he guesses... By the way, check out Sigma's face. That's a face of all time. I can't even stop it fast enough. There's our first pixel right there. One frame. Next frame, he's dead. So we're talking like not even a 1/10 of a second. That's a crazy shot. That's just insane. I mean, that's just insane. Because I'm sitting here like, oh, you know, 20's drop. So now we just sit here, we sit here. Now our Sigma can actually take space a little bit here. That's insanity. And that's just an insane shot. Ah! What is... And Junior's on the loose. So what makes Junior think that he can shift? Sigma's out, now he shifts. Do you guys see that? That's really smart. If Sigma isn't out, he dies for this. Okay, what is he doing? Why is he pressing W? Junior! Maybe he realizes that, like, oh, this fight's just lost, but I think the Sigma just, like, yeah, this is a little silly. Yeah. That's a little bit of the questionable sort, but yeah. That's crazy. Now we're close to Flux, so we'll have an easier time clearing top. Ooh, the Genji swap. So I love the Genji swap. The Genji swap is essentially we don't have high ground control, and we need some way to contest your high ground control. And as Hangzhou, unless I can do the foolishness like I was doing here, I don't really have any angles I can take. So, hey, 2Epic, good to see you, mate. So I'm just gonna cheat, right? I could just dive high ground, clear high ground. I like Genji. I think Genji and double sniper is really, really good in some points. Probably the fourth best hero in double sniper. Very more map specific. But like I think Tracer's fine in double sniper, but again more map specific. I'm trying to think if there's any other heroes that I like in double sniper. Don't like Ashe. I don't like Reaper. Don't like Bastion. Don't like Sombra is inconsistent. She struggles versus Hangzhou a lot, and her ult loses a lot of value. Sojourn, no, Sojourn struggles as well because Sojourn takes too long to build rail. In the past she was good, but she's gotten a lot weaker since then, and she also doesn't have the one-shot anymore. Tracer to double sniper on Circuit Royale is horrible, but on a first point Junkertown it's really, really good. And historically has been good on other maps like that. Cass is actually a little bit of a cheese pick, but it could work. You could like hard flank with Cass, but it's probably too hard. I would say Genji's probably the fourth best pick. Actually, I think the fifth best pick, you guys might look at me like I'm insane. Let me make sure that I'm not trolling the lobby here. I'm looking at the list of heroes here. I actually think the fifth best pick is something like Mei. Hey, congrats, Vibing. Nice job. 3 is Tracer. I think Mei is pretty good because Mei has her own self-sustain, so she can take really aggressive angles and pull off hard flanks, and she's really good in the 1v1s. Not to mention she has a little bit of the Kiriko disease where she can kind of spam an angle, and it's actually really hard for people to deal with it if you're really accurate. Her ultimate's not that good, but you can also like use your wall to rotate or wall off angles that the snipers have. Like think about Mei here. If you had Mei here, Mei would basically make it so you could rotate in from here for free. And you could literally take this high ground for free with Mei as well. It would be impossible for them to deal with this. You would just wall here, walk, and then you had your icicle. So Mei is not terrible at double snipers in certain maps. Circuit Royale is a pretty good one, a pretty narrow one as well. What do I think about Kirizen with these comps? I think Kirizen actually has a lot of promise. So I would say Mei is like the fifth best hero. Hangzhou, Widow, your best bets. Tracer's by far your third best. Genji has its strengths as well because Genji can quickly close the distance. Blade is not super great, but it's still okay. So I like the Genji swap. Mei could bully Sigma as well. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I like Kirizen. Honestly, I feel like I would like Kiri even more when we're on Genji or Tracer because you can kind of help your flanker. Is it troll to pick Cassie in a map like this? No, I don't think so. I think Cassie's pretty strong right now, so no, I think it's okay. I just don't think Cassie's as good in the mirror. So we need to contest Icon somehow. We need to contest Icon, and that's going to be Prophet with Lee Sumin, most likely, or with a Harmony Orb. Prophet just doesn't care. This is kind of silly from Prophet. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So this is why Crossfire matters, because Prophet can't close. I don't quite understand why Prophet comes here. What I would prefer is Prophet to just go here, get Pocket, and then the Zen has to drop. And then the Zen drops, and then now he can dive. This is where, again, I don't know if it's like early scrims or whatever, but this is just really silly. He doesn't even have dash yet. Like, I would have dashed here with Harmony Orb, and then just controlled this angle right here, and then just avoid peeking shy for a second, and then you could even drop, you could either kill Lengsa or force Lengsa to drop, or force Monk to drop, or both. And then you could, if you want to go for Shy, you could take no damage. This is not good Genji play. It's not actually. It's not that Prophet is not a good Genji. This is not a good Genji play, if that makes sense. This is just kind of an ego thing. It costs him all of his cooldowns, and then he doesn't even get his dash off. It's just kind of stupid. He tries to just cheat it. There's a trance. It only catches Krillin. Junior's able to, hitting the flux, but he ducks behind a corner, so there's no one-shot potential, so that's pretty good. Krillin takes an ego angle. There's the dragon. It catches Junior. Krillin tries to peek an angle. This is just dominating positioning from Shy. It's very funny that 20 is actually stuffing the choke here. Now, chat, let me ask you guys a question. Why would 20 hold here? Let's think about this. Why would 20 hold here? There's a couple of reasons why, but I have a couple of suspicions. Card contest, that's the obvious one, right? Right? Negates most of their sight lines. Yeah, he's got a really good corner. Puts lots on Junior. Yeah, I actually think that this positioning here makes it really hard for some of the backliners on Seoul to take top. So remember, we wanted him to hold top, to control top, right? To make sure that he wins the high ground. Huh. But if he holds here and can prevent Zenyatta and Widowmaker and Hanzo from rotating, which I think was the intention, then it doesn't matter if they rotate top, because they can't rotate top. You just sit here and you spam them. The Genji flank, you can't stop, right? He's too fast. But I do think that this position from 20 does actually prevent a lot of the backliners from rotating top. It controls the Hanzo and the Zen. Now, if that's my theory, if that actually works or not, like if we shielded off, could our Hanzo Zen take top? I think so. But then could 20 also just spam from below and still control them? I see what you're saying, Clubs. Yeah, I don't know. These are the questions that I have in the air. I have not coached Double Sniper in this map. I have not seen Double Sniper in this map in ages. So it's not so much that like the theory is bad. It's like I don't know if it works in execution. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, one tricking is fine. I think two tricking is always a little bit better, but it's fine. But yeah, this is a silly play from Prophet. This is going to cost him the fight here. My one question now, though, is would it be better for Leave to take top? And I think it would. I think I'd prefer Leave here. Maybe he's scared of Prophet's grapple shots, but I think if Shy can gatekeep this with this angle here and prevent what am I saying, Junior from taking the angles, then I don't really like this, because the problem here is it's like you also need some high ground pressure to prevent the rotate, and I don't think they have it. So Krillin is allowed to do this rotate. That being said, this is a really nice angle from Shy. And then they try to rotate late, but it's too late. How does Prophet get so much ult charge? Where does Prophet get ult charge? Oh, this. Got it. Okay, I was curious. So Blade does give you another one of those like RKO win conditions that we were talking about earlier that Seoul kind of wants to go for. Like they want to get an ultimate that they can push with, cause chaos, and win the fight off of that. They've been doing that with Nano, they've been doing that with Flux. Blade gives you that opportunity as well. I don't know what 20 is doing, but 20 is, oh my gosh, my cats are freaking. 20 is like, this is crazy. I guess he's just confident he can drop. That seems so risky to me. Both of these Sigmas have been doing it, so maybe I'm just an old boomer. So they're going to try and they need to get Prophet off of the floor here. Prophet needs to be able to get rid of Leave, because then he can use this position to then continue and contest from here. So this is really cool from Leave. He's trying to make it really hard for Prophet to set up. I actually like this from Leave. As long as he gets pocket from his Zen, this is the ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, okay? Because what you do is you had issues with Prophet staging from high ground earlier. If Prophet had played it better, I think you just automatically lose the fight. However, here, Leave is proactively holding the space, which makes it a lot harder for Prophet to threaten Shy and a Monk at the same time. And he could get pocket, right? So then they end up rotating out. There's the flux. Here comes the chaos. Prophet is going to get nanoed. Leave is dead. Shy is dead. Oh my gosh, and Shy still gets the shot. That's crazy. Just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. And that's a really big kill too, because it's going to help them prevent a little bit of the snowball. I mean, I think Double Sniper is really good in this map, honestly. And Apac probably doesn't play Rhine, so... Oh, no! Prophet! It's just a little bit of ego. Ah, no, it's such a silly death. Big error from Junior? I mean, I don't think so. I think... Oh, taking the duel there? Yeah, I mean, he had sights, you know? He's thinking, oh, I'm good to go, right? But Shy just doesn't care if he dies. Shy knows that if I die, it doesn't matter. I will be avenged. This is the Seoul classic. But unfortunately, the Genji swap from Leave negates this, because the Genji mirror means that now you also have a Genji that can immediately close the distance. Check this out. Zen flank, up here. And he's dead. Right? So yeah, a little bit of adjustment needed now from both Zenyatas and Widowmakers with how aggressive they play, because now we have an actual dive hero that can just run you over. Whoa. What's a mistake here, chat? What's the mistake here? This is Overwatch 2 Fundamentals 101. No, Genji's just good into these comps, that's all. The Genji's not just only good into these comps, he's only good into these comps at like specific points of the map as well. Check it out. What's wrong with our screen, ladies and gentlemen? Holy stacked indeed. Spark gets bloodthirsty. They see a kill, they're up one, they're like, oh, Void's low, but Void has shift, and Void has cover. And by giving up the space, by running it down, they actually lose the fight. Look at what they do when they do this. Look at what they give up. Look at the angle this Widow's allowed to take. Look at the angle that Prophet coming back from spawn. He's just allowed to walk. He just walks. He just walks. And then now, not only that, but look at the position that our Blade is able to get set up with. This fight should be lost. For Spark. There's a trance. And the other problem here is that we have literally have Junior in their spawn. This is a fight where they have 1, 2 ultimates and a mana advantage, and there's an actual real chance that they loses. Maybe not. I lied. That's okay. Trance and Flux was forced. Well done. Trance and Flux were forced while down one. That's a fine trade. Okay, what happens here? Up. How does he know? Oh, he hears the footsteps. Listen, guys. Listen. That's crazy. Wait, does he even move his feet? Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Huh. Classic liar. Yeah, here we go again. Listen, I was not paying attention to ults. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There's Prophet trying to take space. Leave gets his deflect forced. Oh no, classic Plat Genji mistakes though, right? Leave's definitely classic. Because like he needs to, we need him to have his deflect and dash. He actually doesn't use his deflect because we need him to control this angle here to prevent Prophet from taking it, but yeah. How are we gonna get nano value here? Are we gonna just nano Sigma in? Oh no, Prophet is getting away with way too much right here. And this is where I see the weakness of the Sigma on the low ground, right? Because if they're not able to stuff them in the choke, 20's kite path puts him in a position to where he can't actually like hold any space at all. So I will say this, when they don't have the advantage of like stuffing the choke, I don't like 20 playing here. I want 20 up here so that then, okay, we're not at immediate danger of getting nano, trance, or flux run over, but at least we can control their Genji. This is not a good... This is like the same thing as like when you're in a Ryan Brawl mirror. You don't match them toe-to-toe because either you get run over with their ults or you end up having to kite in such a disproportionate way that you don't actually control space. So whenever they have a Brawl ult advantage, Flux, Nanotrance, whatever, we do not want to stuff them in the choke because they just through the threat of using those ultimates will force us back. And then by forcing us back, what space do we control right now? And by not controlling that space, that then allows Prophet to take this angle. 20 should be up here being like laughing at the Nano and Trance and Flux. Also, the card is too far forward. That's another little thing as well. Yes, absolutely. This is way... Assuming that mechanics don't kick in at some point in time, this is way too much space. Way too much space from Seoul just walking out of the choke. Because the thing is they don't even have that big of an ult advantage. Like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But these are just not... These are just ults that are better in close range. So 20 has to back off. Lamp was forced too? Oh, no. Yeah, this is just, it's just messy. I don't like this. And I also don't listen, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like this from 20. I'm also, okay, so now Prophet's gonna go high. Aw, come on now. Come on, Void. We just need to time this a little bit better. Like, they're still on infocytes. Your backline's still MIA. This is just silly. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. This is disastrous timing. Prophet's not going to do anything with this. This is what I was saying when, like, sometimes these, like, early scrim VODs are, like, a little bit frustrating to watch because it's, like, there's so much potential for, like, talking about strategy and then just Void just literally just ends 1v5. There's, like, nothing to learn from that at all. Outside, I mean, I guess we could talk about it from the theory, but it doesn't really... The problem is that that's not why they lost the fight. You know, they didn't even lose the fight. You know, they just died because Void just trolled. That's it. Brawl ult advantage here. They're going to brute force with Flux. It's honestly a little bit early, but they have to go now because they have to touch cart. There's the deflect on the sleep dart. That's really good. That's really, really nice. Really clean blade from Leave to where he like hides his hitbox behind the wall so that there's only like literally a millisecond for the, not much time at all. Void hits off a fat Flux. Lamp doesn't even go off. Like here's the other thing as well. Even with Blade, this is why we don't want to play at point blank range in a Flux. You just die. So big mistake from Lengsa. He doesn't even hit the lamp where he wants it to. Like, he doesn't even land in the lamp. Like, what am I supposed to learn from this, chat? This is crazy. No way they win off of this. Yeah. Hey, Molf. Good to see you, mate. It's going to be a 4v5, at least until Lee Sumin gets here. Lee Sumin's still not here. Leave goes to Hunt, doesn't catch him, and then that's just a good shot from Shy. He tries the headshot hitbox block, but it doesn't work. That's actually super funny. Did you guys see that? He tries to use the Venomine to block the shot, but the Venomine is like literally, if it was just an inch higher, it blocks it, but it doesn't, and that's going to be the map. Oh dear. The idea was there. Yeah. I agree. Okay. Let's move on to the next code. You guys have any questions? Yeah. Very, very, very goofy last point. Very goofy last point. It really felt like Seoul was struggling to find any sort of like intelligent proactivity, but a lot of ults were used really poorly. Let's keep going. Yeah, they just thought because the match was over. It could be, yeah, could be. Like I said, early scrims, nothing really crazy. I'm not like ragging on these guys. These guys are great players. It's just not as fun to review when it's like stuff like that. That's why you lose. How are Caps just gonna live with Prophet versus Prophet? Like I said, just roll with the junior. I also like somebody was saying PH. I like Avril. I like that. Is he not viable in Pro League? He's not as good in Pro League. No, he's not as good. Yeah. So this is a pretty cute comp. We talked a lot about Kiriko Ana when we saw Spark versus Houston. We talked a lot about how the Ana plays to control space, can help her tank. The Kiriko literally plays like a third DPS and just supports her Tracer while taking angles herself. And if you have a really good mechanical Kiriko and like a very comfortable Kiriko, you can do a lot of work with that hero, with this hero set. The Diva pick is interesting. It might be more of a hero comfort pick. It could also be that Diva is like, to me, Diva is like, the best way I could describe Diva right now is I would say that she's probably not the optimal pick in this comp, but she's fine versus pretty much everything. Like if they go Vol, if they go Doom, or if they go Winston, Diva will never be like necessarily the best pick, but she will perform fine versus all of them. That's my current understanding of it. It could also be that this map is a little bit too open on first point for Winston to function. And obviously, the more important thing is that Void is a really good Diva player. So that's the most obvious answer. But I think from an analysis standpoint, the Diva is going to do a nice job controlling high ground and controlling space and so on. Now, I think Diva is a strong hero. I think she just has never really found her place. You know what I'm saying? It's like Orisa has been strong, but she doesn't really find her place. Anyway, so the way that this is going to work here is you're going to have, obviously Junior's going to take an angle and la. But the big thing is that, the question for me is this. Is Kiriko Tracer better than Kiriko Zen? Can your Kiriko pocket a Tracer better than a Zen can? Is Discord more important than Kiriko pocket? And I don't know. I don't think we really know the answer to that one, guys. Like I really don't think we know the answer. Because that's what we're gonna see. That's what we're about to see. Is we're gonna see a lot of Tracers chasing each other around with either a Harmony Orb, Discord Orb, or a Kiriko pocket. So the Briggs in backline is fragile. Will we see? I don't know. It's just going to be about controlling space, really. Like for me, also the ball feels like it might be a little bit rough here. The only not justification, but the only good thing is that we've got a Widowmaker that it could just permanently bully. So we'll see. I think Ball is going to try and gatekeep Junior from doing much. Shy is going to play off of that ball timing. Briggs in are going to be pocketing their DPS to try and survive as much as you can. This is a messy composition. Yeah, I don't know. Let's watch it out. Okay.
I smell shenanigans.
Yeah, it's just a wee bit of the ego there. I don't like this duel to be honest from Junior. There's not a lot gained by spawn killing somebody like that if they already know you're there, because it's like their respawn is like right there. And you're going to be pushing cart anyway. I think this is too much of a high risk, low reward play. So Diva's going to be controlling the high grounds. Like Diva's job is just to sit here and to anything that gets overly aggressive, whether it's Tracer, whether it's Ball, whether it's Zen, whether it's Widow, is to pressure. Yeah. Now, the interesting thing for me is how often are we going to see Lee Soo-min playing by himself versus how much is he going to be playing with Prophet? Because right now, he's playing very much for himself. He's gonna translocate out soon. But like that to me is crazy. How is this happening? How does Gushui die so much? Or take so much damage? He doesn't even use shields. He doesn't think he needs it. So they kind of force the brawl in here. Gushui goes in and just gets immediately toasted by 4 people. That's actually insane. And it's also really interesting that he uses Bell first, or Suzu first, before using TP. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Like, what are you using Suzu for? You probably should use it selfishly more often than not to control space. Why didn't they take the flank on Ana? I mean, here's why. This is why. And this is why. You talk about proactivity with controlling flanks and keeping yourself alive. Krillin pocketing Prophet right here is why he's not going to get dove. If Krillin doesn't pocket Prophet, Prophet loses the 2v1 on the side, and then Gushui dives Krillin. It could have been intentional, yes. I mean, I have as much to learn about these compositions as you guys do. I will tell you what I know about the game fundamentally, but there are details that are still fuzzy, especially considering we have like essentially a brand new hero in Kiriko, because Kiriko, when the way she was played in finals and the way she's played now is just night and day. Kiri is 100% bait, yeah. So this is questionable from Void, but you see an opportunity, you go for it. So he sets up a pincer. Look at the pincer from both Prophet and Void. And they just burst him. They're down one, so this is kind of a feed, honestly, from Lengsa. And then the Harmony Orb is a little bit late. We don't get mini health back. That's actually crazy. Now, Void needs to be very careful not to die. Need some water. Oh my gosh. I think I inhaled it here. Okay. Well, after dying live on stream. Yeah, I mean that's what the Diva's good at. Like we talk about it here. Yeah. Yeah, I literally just inhaled like a hair or something. The Diva's able to use the high ground and just immediately drop on the backline with from a tracer flank. This is good. Now using the boosters there is risky, but you have 3 seconds of Matrix that he hasn't used at that point, so yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah, Linksa does not respect the Diva buff, and also the ball is not there either. So like you're down 4v5, you have to have a little bit more respect there, I think. They're just gonna keep pushing. I mean, your comp is really good in short sightlines. Like if we compare like sightline differential here, right? The ball has really good sightlines and short sightlines as well as the Diva. But the ball is more about setting up angles and going around, like spreading the map wide, right? The Diva can get on top of people, and the more people that are stacked, the more value the Diva gets with her Matrix and her damage. Even things like boosters, right? And then you compare something like the Zenyatta and the Ana, you know, the Kiriko, right? The Brig is definitely more of a short range hero, but that's to complement the fact that the Zenyatta is so fragile in close ranges. So if, especially as we're like snowballing this, like they keep backing up and they just keep pressing W. And I think this is on Spark to do a better job keeping a leash on Prophet. Like leave here, like this is being a little bit harsh, but leave here is like probably thinking about staging on Widow or setting up for next fight. But really, Leave needs to be hunting Tracer. Like, look at Prophet here. Prophet just walks. Like, this should never be that easy. This should never be. We've literally set up another flank. And then this is where, like, the Kiriko is really good. Where the Kiriko can push in aggressively, bait attention, and then she just gets out. Easy peasy. Like, even gets the Suzu off there. So, what Seoul's doing is they're just stuffing. They're just not giving any space whatsoever to the Zenyatta with them. Yeah, they're all holding, right, exactly. They're all holding positions where they're good at. Like Diva's job is to control high ground. Tracer's kind of controlling either from this angle or from this angle here. And then the Kiriko could control this side of the map here. And then they look for opportunities to either stuff or shoot. They don't sit there and peek Zenyatta and take unnecessary damage, right? Yeah. If you can get it, replay viewer, will we continue to do a weekly series on this? Most likely, yeah, we'll do something like this. I was also thinking of doing like a small YouTube series, probably not recorded on Twitch, but like the best play of the week, and do something that's like or the most underrated play of the week and have like a sneaky play that may not have gotten a lot of attention that actually was like super big brain or super smart. Yeah, it's new. This is new. Something like that might be fun. But yeah, I'm probably gonna be doing a little bit of owl analysis every week, I think, if I can. Is it even possible to bully the diva away from high ground with this comp here? Yes, but what you would need to do is you'd need to get your Briggs in up top, bully the diva out from there, and go from there. Like this area of the map. Min X, thank you so much for the sub. Spilo's top 10 plays of the week. That's a good, yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly. Like this, the weakness of this composition is if we get to clear them out of this choke, and the diva, Kiriko are like over here. This space Zen rules. So the Ana Kiriko have to keep them in this choke in short sight lanes. Otherwise, the Zenyatta just does too much damage. So I think like you do have to control high ground from here. And then I think you need to put more emphasis on controlling the enemy tracer and getting your ball behind. Like I think like I don't feel like Junior has been under much pressure at all. And I also don't think we've done a good enough job mirroring Prophet on Tracer either, which meant our backline has felt way too fragile. But easier said than done, right? Like that's the defender's advantage. Like here we go again. Oh. It's just a little bit of ego. A little bit of ego. But you know what? Hit the stick. Big thing there is like, I think this is just somewhere, Prophet should have been a little bit more patient, I think. I don't think we really need to go now. Because like he just dies instantly. Pressure, 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 pressure. He needs to get out, needs to get out, needs to get out. Out, 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 out. We're good. Shy is taking Junior's lunch money. Oh my gosh, you can't even see him. What? That's crazy. Hey, I'm glad to hear it, Menace. Thanks for the sub, mate. I appreciate it. Good work on you, though. I'm glad that I was able to help a little bit. But but this is the thing though, like this is the strength of like the Ana Kiriko Diva. Like they're up 2 and yet they're still not gonna be able to dislodge the like Krillin and Lee Sumin. Like they can't just like walk in here and push in here. Like it's too much from the Zen. Like it's too dangerous, right? You also have to worry about cart. Like so it feels like even though like oh we're up 1, we're up 2. Are we up 2? Yeah, so Prophet is just now getting back. Okay, the Zen's not back, that's a big thing. But Lengsa has to be like so careful. It's like so careful. And that's a misplay from Lengsa. Like this is where we call like lose cons, right? This is the London call, right? But we bash in, and then the Nano Diva is on top of us, and we have nowhere to go, and our Zen isn't there to help us yet. I think what we're seeing here is. Honestly, it feels like Shy is giving us advantages and opportunities, but Leave is not doing a good enough job marking their tracer. Like we're seeing a lot of attention on backline. And really honestly, backline is just dying way too much. Like we have to be able to disengage these fights. Like I'm seeing way too many times Lengsa just gets W keyed on. And with new Bash, that's just unforgivable. Shy is just trying his hardest, man. By the way, check this out from Junior. Check this out. He's not leaving spawn. He might even swap. Oh no, he's waiting for Ana. Okay. When Junior took the duel 30 seconds ago, should he have? I think it was okay. I mean, it was a 50-50 duel, and the fight has evolved enough to where, like, you're not spawn killing a Widowmaker. But yeah, Shy is disgusting. Shy is honestly why Spark beat London last year. The general opinion of a lot of, at least last season, was that most Western teams did not respect APAC teams on tank or support. APAC has a lot of big names on tank and support, but they didn't have great seasons last year. Like we even like whether it was that or the team play, like Western teams were just better. They were just better last season. But APAC DPS were scary. I'm painting with a broad brush, Faisa. I don't know enough about Smurf, how he played last season. I'm sure he played I know he played, from what I know, played really well. But as a whole, we didn't respect a lot of tank and supports from APAC. But APAC DPS were just terrifying. Like whether it was Leave or Shy or Alpha Yi, yeah, they were terrifying. Like Spark were just not the better team in the in the playoffs versus London last season. Zest, MN3, yep. But Shy was insane. This season, we'll see how it goes. So once again, Brig, overextend. This is just a bit of mechanics, a bit of foolishness. You can really see the strengths of the Kiriko here. Where like, it's just so much like craziness going on and she can just play wherever she wants. And to be honest with you guys, this is what Kiriko should have been from the get-go. This is why having a Kiriko that doesn't heal near as much is so important. Because it's just so more interesting. So much more interesting. This is kind of like what we expected, right? Oh, Shy. Finally, we have seen a backline that just did not immediately fold over from a dive. Like, this is, it's been how many fights? 3 fights. We pressure early with our Tracer. We bait the Kiriko to walk forward. The Zen, the Diva walk forward. Now we can walk forward. Finally, y'all. Holy cow. Okay, so that was a window of opportunity, right? They don't hit it, they have to give up space. What's that stand on solo tanking? You know, oh, and Al? I think it is a nuanced move. Let's put it that way. I think if you have a tank, like if you have the budget for it, I think 2 tanks are good. But it's a lot better this season because your other tank can at least play ranked. And assuming that there continues to be a meta where things are like 50-50, like Diva, Zarya, there's some Sigma maps, you know, you got some ball here and there, it's interesting. But as soon as it gets to be like, oh, this is the only meta that's good, like the Junker Queen meta or the Winston meta, then it gets rough having 2 tanks because you have one player that's just perma-benched. And in back last season, it was really bad. You guys don't even know. What last season was like. Poor Poco, no ranked. You either stuck playing Overwatch 1 ranked or quick play in Overwatch 2, and that was best case scenario. This season it's a lot easier because you can actually play ranked. But like it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy because you got really washed because you couldn't play Overwatch 2. So then you got really washed and it just snowballed, you know? Oh, this is Kiriko, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what are you supposed... Like, you could definitely pocket that better, but it's rough. Like, it's rough. Here's what I'll say. This is... I'm not so sure how I feel about the ball here. I feel like Gushui has been incapable of doing really anything to Junior the entire match because he's been marked really well. But because he's not been able to do anything, it feels like our Briggston backline has been choked out this entire game. Like, what has our ball done this entire game? We've not harassed backline. We've not marked DPS. I don't think it's necessarily like a mechanical thing, but it's been feeling... I'm questioning what's going on here because like Gushui has been completely incapable of setting up anything in the backline. And the same thing goes with Leave as well. Like Leave, we've been incapable of marking. And look at us, we're trying to dive. Okay, let's go. No. We're just forcing. If you can't take control of the Mega on ball, just switch. Honestly, I don't even think you're wrong. I wouldn't even say just switch, but you need to figure out a different strategy because this is butchery. They've not been able to make it out of the choke. And even if they lose this point, this is a really, really good first point hold. There's the Sombra swap. Probably a good swap, considering you're getting no angles on Shy.
30 seconds remaining.
I think a Diva Mirror would be better here. A Diva Mirror would be better here with the Briggs in, or even a Doom, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, Shy is trying, but yeah. And there's the Infosites in the Sombra swap. Haha, poor Shy. Instantly has to go back. Now, how do they lose this? Because they must lose this, right? Well, maybe they don't. I don't know. There's the Kiriko ult. There's the stick. We're going in a little early, but he sees an opportunity. There's both support ults. There's the peel from Gushui. Like when your ball is peeling, something's wrong. Something's wrong. They kite it out. Then we're going to see a Kitsune rush. They force Sombra out eventually. They do. There's a Kiriko ult in point. They TP out to the Kiriko. Lee Sumin needs to be really careful. This is again the Kiriko. Watch the Kiriko right here. Watch the Kiriko. Pops ult on point. Has to TP out. Gets low. Suzu's. She's feeding, right? No, she's not. She's out. And she now has her TP again. Void kind of ints, and they're not able to get on top of the Zen. That's actually a huge deal. Oh, they do get the kill. That's a huge deal. They nano the Kiriko, but the Kiriko TP's out. But maybe we get the kill on Brig. I think the Suzu there was to prevent... so you guys are probably questioning why the Suzu. The Suzu is likely to prevent Whip Shot from getting boot back. I don't even think it was used for defensive purposes. This is where the Kiriko is really helpful. That's a huge sleep. Oh, whoa. That's just a dominating hold here. Really a dominating hold from Seoul. I want to see where a nade went. Nade doesn't hit. They kite inside. The nano is just hilarious. And you just look how patient he is to sleep there. We don't need to use it. He's going to commit at some point, right? Monster sleep. And then what happens with our dear friend Gushui? Oh, no! No, he doesn't do this! No! Oh my goodness, look at him. He tries to keep the grapple so that he can slingshot himself back out, but he just launches himself off the map! No, 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 no. Okay, so honestly, so much has happened that it's really hard to like pinpoint what went wrong here. It definitely felt like backline played it really poorly in terms of being able to peel off dives. I think like even with the Diva Tracer Pincer, I think honestly a lot of things went wrong here. Lingsa fed multiple times, should have disengaged, kited out a lot better than he did. I feel like Gushui just did not do anything at all in terms of peeling or controlling angles or space. Like we never got any pressure on Junior. Every time Junior died, it was from Shy and Widow. Leave, I felt really struggled to mark the enemy tracer, or even set up angles of his own in the enemy backline. Like it's super weird that like Junior was just completely quiet the entire VOD, but never got any space at all. That VOD to me exemplifies Void and Prophet's timing and teamwork. And also it really does a good job exemplifying the value of the Kiriko. Like how useful it was to have a support playing that aggressively with impunity. Like that's the value of the Kiriko. Like look at how much value our healing, the aggression, the damage, the Suzu, like just basically just DPS Kiriko and playing super aggressively with a Tracer Diva over and over and over again and never ever 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 dying. What if Spark went Lucio Kiri? Probably. I mean, I don't know. It's a more open map, so the Briggs has, in theory, works, but honestly, if the Ana Kiriko can stuff you in a choke, it looked really hard. Like, the thing with the Leave marking Prophet, it's like Leave wasn't even getting a Discord to Prophet, because Prophet was sitting here and going, bam, bam, and he's already on your Briggs end. Like, how do you even mark that? So, like, there has to be a way, but it's tough. It's tough. So they're definitely no. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't even know that Brigson is bad, y'all. Like, let's go. Brigson is bad versus Kiriko. I'm not so sure about that. Right? We don't know. But we're just trying to see out why it just didn't feel very good. So Kiriko Brig is kind of weird. I imagine, I mean, it's probably not that complicated. It's probably just the fact that, hey, we want to play Kiriko, but we don't want to play Ana. And we think Lucio is not going to really do a whole lot. So I imagine the Brig is just like, hey, we want to pack it my Boston accent coming in there. We want to help our DPS with packs, you know, but we don't really need the Lucio. So comfort pick, yeah. I think like you're not going to be able to play Ana. Like Link said, Ana. Not every team's going to be able to play Kiriko Ana, really. So yeah. Forwarded. So we got a stage on Ana or Widow, and we don't even necessarily need to be on the same target at the same time. So they're going in really hard here. There's the peel. Krillin dies. Okay. Interestingly enough, Lingsa also commits. I feel like this is a high risk, high reward play that could work, but probably means that the Brig needs to save her bash. And I actually think Lingsa needs to be really careful. They go Cassidy, which is 100% the swap. They don't stay Widow. So what you guys are about to see is a lot more of the same. Aggressively diving, trying to stuff the Cassidy, the Ana from taking any angles. Because you're talking about like short sightline compositions. You think this was a short sightline composition? Now you transition that Ana to Brig, and oh my gosh, now you're really stuffing. You're really stuffing. And you transition that Sombra to Widow, or the Widowmaker to Sombra, and now you're really stuffing. You're really stuffing. But will we be able to peel off these dives with Diva instead of the ball? Will we be able to peel off these dives with the Cassidy instead of the Widowmaker? I think I'm sure of it. I mean, obviously we're sure of it because this is a 7-minute VOD and not a 4-minute VOD. So let's find out. Now, the key thing for Prophet, for Junior, is going to be about anticipating the dives, playing cover, and then trying to prioritize the DPS. So like this is fine, but we have to be really, really careful. And then Krillin has to do the same kind of thing. Very disciplined with cover. Do you see how he tries to juke the hack there? And then actually he needs to probably try to walk towards the Sombra or towards cover next. So either when you get hacked, you either walk towards the Sombra, clear her out, and then tuck into cover from here, or you go from there. But they did peel off the dive. I think this was probably a little bit of an this is an overambitious dive. What's the difference between this dive here, guys, and this dive here? What's the simplest difference between the two? Because they're both inside. They're both, 3, 2, 1, go. What's the big difference? Hey, Varashi. Healers can't heal, or healers can heal. Angles, not everybody is ready. The one with the mini is closer to team, right? So this one feels a little bit like, you guys have heard me talk about reaching, right? This one feels a little bit deep. Like Leave can't even reach that far without triple blinking, right? See, he's like, oh, I can't, like, he takes 3 blinks, right? And so, which means he's gonna have to recall out immediately, right? Which means then the dive doesn't have a lot of teeth. The other one as well, like, I wasn't really loving Lingsa dropping, but at least our supports could follow up. Our supports can't really follow up here as much. And you can kind of see that dive fails because of that. And you could also look at it from Gushue's perspective. Gushue before was like, bam, right? Gushue now is like down almost half his HP before he even gets there. One could be supported, one can't, right? And not just supported through support, but also supported through DPS, right? It just felt a little far. And then because of that, and this is the problem with the Brig comp, is if your supports reach to assist the dive, they are no longer able to play their lives. So watch this. TPN. This Kiriko is now vulnerable. But not just TPN. Bash in. And there you go. It's a reach. They reached. They reached. Seoul baits it, anticipates it. Seoul positioned way better around the dive as well in terms of cover. The matrix is there. The dive doesn't work. They're vulnerable, and now they die. You kind of force your own cooldowns, right? So that's more of a misplay from Spark than it is played well by Dynasty. But if you were to play that exact same scenario with the Briggs in, with a Diva, it would work. It would have, the exact same result would have happened instead of the Kiriko Ana. But Seoul was smarter than Spark, and they also peeled off stuff better than Spark. I mean, you can even look like it here. Like, look, they're hard spy checking, hard spy checking. We will not let you stage this dive. Sombra's out. Sombra's out. Now we can ego because Sombra can't dive. So then look at Junior here. Look at the feeding here, right? Aw, man! He goes a little too aggressive. I would have liked this, but I would not have used roll, and then he needed to keep his Ana and LOS. I will also say this is... Okay, I was like, where's my Kiriko? Oh, my Kiriko is dead. Because if our Kiriko is alive... This is where you would have your Kiriko playing with your Cassidy ahead of time and still within line of sight of your Ana. The problem here is that, like, we force a Sombra out, but our Kiriko is still in spawn. Right? Our Kiriko is still in spawn, so we can't... This is a 4v4, it's not a 5v4, right? Even with the Sombra out, it's a 4v4. It's a bit of a feed. This should be like a first point. We should be able to win this one. Void's now in super deep. Can they survive? I don't even think they can survive. Oh, what? Come on, leave. It's a huge shot by Krillin. That's crazy. Just a little bit of a reach, right? Now, I wouldn't even say it's a reach so much as it was just the Tracer got body shot before. No, I wouldn't say reaching. I wouldn't say reaching because I think it was only one blink, right? One blink or two blinks tops. He didn't have his recall. He didn't have his recall and he got shot before he went in. Because this is a good dive. It forces a lot of resources. This opens up Void a lot to losing HP. But yeah. Went in without recall. He went in aggressively without recall. And that's going to be a cap. High risk, high reward play, right? But that was such a big... That's why when we guys talk about like defending yourself as Ana, if you hit one body shot in a Tracer pre-dive, that's unbelievable pressure, unbelievable value. Because then it's like it's a potential death sentence. The other weird thing, by the way, about this, maybe there's like some weird effect with like the way the healing was calculated with the damage. Wait, maybe I'm misremembering here. Why is he 76 HP? You guys see this? Why is he 76 HP? Because he gets shot by Ana once, he drops to 76 HP. He gets shot again, 76 HP. What? What? That's so weird. That's bizarre. I don't get it. That's right. He's so tanky that he just removes that one damage. Ana has Fallout. Yeah, exactly. Change Ana damage in custom games? 100%. That's the way to go. So you look at how cautious Krillin is, right? Krillin's like, okay, they have full cooldowns, so looking for me, right? They're looking for me, right? I could pocket my team from here. Lee Soo-min is with the Cassidy, as predicted, as we were talking about earlier. Spectator, but could be, could be. So now, Prophet's just like, I'm going to keep shooting your flankers. I'm not going to let you get on my Ana. I'm not going to let you get on my Ana. There's the Kiriko ult. We need to disengage. Junior. He doesn't even run. He's like, well, yeah, whatever, you know. But that's the thing, is they use all of their cooldowns. There's the dive. If Krillin can survive the Sombra, and he does, then he's good to go. So then now we can walk forward. There's the EMP. Oh, because we lost space, Gushui is able to stage from high ground. So we're able to this is actually really, really nice. Like, this is why. Okay, here's a okay. This is a nice little macro concept for you guys. What does this Kiriko ult accomplish? What does it actually accomplish? What does it actually do? They just kite it out, right? Nobody dies. Bad Kiriko ult, right? Right? High ground, right. It gives them space. It gives them high ground. And then let's be very specific about what that does. Why does the high ground matter? Look at Junior's positioning now. Look at Gushui's positioning now. So then when we EMP on the next ult, we have this that wouldn't otherwise be there. Do you see that? Which forces them to tuck into here. Now, I don't know how this is going to be played mechanically. Leave is trying to follow up an EMP. Void is able to... I don't even know how Krillin survives. It's like Krillin should die. He gets EMP'd. He has Sombra and D.Va on him, and the D.Va's hacked. Oh, Sombra gets forced out immediately. Did she get spy checked? Yes. Oh, do you see what happens? I'm like, how does she survive? This is what happens. Oh, we're gonna keep peeling back the layers. This is like an onion, y'all. Check it. Great spy checking. And right there. Immediate translocator. A little bit of a desync with the dive as well. The Suzu Lee Sumin, through cover usage, in a little bit of distance, is able to dodge the EMP, which then is Suzu'd on the slam. Prophet also dodges the EMP, or Junior dodges the EMP. Leave is a little bit late. Why is Leave late? Does Leave get shot by Tracer, or does Leave get shot by Krillin? He gets shot by Ana, forces his recall. Oh, this is so good, guys. This is like clinical. Like, everything went wrong here that could have gone wrong, and yet they still pull it out. Phenomenal positioning from Lee Sumin. Phenomenal peel from Void. Huge shot from Krillin, right? He doesn't panic. Shoot the Tracer. Do not let her follow up on this dive. Prophet headshots the Sombra, forces the Sombra out. And then this baits Gushui to now reach. Now, my question here is, what are our supports doing? Because I feel like Monk should be here. Maybe hit a shot or something. Maybe we're worried about Cart. I don't know. I'm just not really impressed by this. Like, maybe... Because if we're looking to dive, we're not really mirroring Cart, right? So if we're looking to dive, we don't care about pocketing Leave. And if anything, we should pocket Leave from here. But Leave gets his locator forced anyway. Where's Monk going? Hey, Keiseki. KCK. I will get that one right one day. Where's Monk here? It just doesn't feel like we're ready, you know? Like our DPS are there. The support, the Tracer was late. The ball was a tiny bit late. Even imagine if we had a Kiriko shot here, right? Or something. I don't know. Not really well set up. You had the space for it. You just didn't set it up very well. You just don't like the brig here? I mean, I don't blind the brig if the brig is like actually involved in the dives. I agree with you though that it's not really communication error. We don't really know. EMP was early because of the spy check. I mean, maybe, but why is Monk even here? Like, this isn't even close to being ready. I don't know. But yeah, this is a big issue. This is a big issue, and this is gonna bait Gushui into overcommitting, and then he's gonna die. So that's the thing, guys. It's like, as well played as it was played by Seoul, Spark really struggled here. Like, really struggled. A little bit of a greed. Little bit of a greed from Seoul there. Little bit of a greed. They do have good positionings, though. That's a phenomenal Nemo. They're just doing so much of a better job peeling this off. They're just doing so, like, they don't even have Matrix because Void's going in aggro because he has bombs, so he's trying to get it forced out. Prophet's, you see the instant turn on the Sombra forces her out. Then they turn. I mean, then Langsa just somehow doesn't, like, what? So they're able to disengage that, which is huge. Reset up for next fight. There's the ball, but Sombra's out, so this is not timed very well. Because by the time Sombra's in, ball is out. Tracer goes in, so we've got 2 in 1, but then a ball is a little late. It just feels like we're a little bit desynced from Spark with when we're going in. That, and Seoul is playing this one nicely. Seoul, so far, from both the Junkertown and this map, just looks like the better team. They just look like the better team, the more responsive team. Hey, Conk. Seoul, so far, at least this early in scrims, have looked a little bit more cohesive. What is it? Is it a bird?
A bunch of cowbirds on here. They'll scare the clown away.
Uh-oh. Oh gosh, the whole...
There he is!
What?
The cowbird just landed right on the...
The whole thing is shaking. The bird feeder is shaking.
There's a bunch of them. Bullies.
Huh.
Little turds.
Grill.
Say turds on street. Sorry. My bad. Sorry, everyone.
Uh-oh. Yeah, a little bit of greed here. The Reinhardt swap's pretty funny, and the Ana Zen swap is pretty funny. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Why do you think that they're playing Ana Zen? Oh my gosh, look at them go. No, leave it.
Look at
Oh.
the Cardinal.
Whoa, he's fighting them.
Fighting them.
What the heck?
Yo, this is straight savage.
Bro, there's a cardinal out here, y'all, and the cardinal's straight up fighting the cowbirds for the bird feeder. Dude. There's Mama Cardinal down there. I'm sorry, chat. We have to pause. This is nature in action.
Yo, he just like straight up.
What a Sigma male. What a chat. Dude, he just bullied 4 cowbirds out. To feed his woman over there. Like, she's trying to. Yo.
That was.
What the heck? It's out. I wish I could. There's like 4 big. I don't know if you guys know what cowbirds are. These big ugly like birds, you know. They're bigger than the cardinal. And there's 4 of them. Just big pigs, you know, the ugliest, and they look like actual, like, they're just brown. They're just kind of ugly, you know. And this cardinal comes up, and he goes bam, 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 smacks the crap out of him. What is it?
He like punched him.
That's wild. I'm sorry, y'all. That's hilarious. That was the funniest thing I've seen all day.
That was so sad.
Stop. All right. Ana Zen defensive spam. Yeah, I mean, basically it's just like the Ana Zen, if you're playing for like the back half of second point or third point, it's really hard to dive because you could just like put your Ana Zen and spawn, and it's like really hard to like actually kill them. So then why not play the greediest heroes that you could possibly can? So weird not to show us. I'm sorry, guys. Brown bird kind of ugly. Oh, dang it. You know what I meant? They're just like all one color. Yeah, so like you could just put your backline in like Narnia, and it's just like really hard to win. D.Va's also gonna feel atrocious here because there's like no high grounds whatsoever. So what I'm expecting from swaps, like I don't even know what you'd swap here, honestly. I don't know what you'd swap here, honestly. There's maybe Sigma? You play for bomb for sure. Yeah, there's the Ashe swap, something a little greedier. I actually don't know if I like the Ashe swap. I feel like Cass is just as good there. The tighter sightlines are just as good as Ashe. But yeah. The way you'd have to win it is you'd have to find your Ashe take an aggressive angle, and then your Kiriko assists that angle and prevents it from being dove. And I think, like, honestly, Prophet or Krillin are going to have to somehow bait a dive, force him to overextend and punish from there. Like, I think, like, the Ryan just sits there and holds space in main. Like, I think this could be really rough. I want to see how good Lengths is in is. I'm not looking at Lengths is in. It's not happening. What? Oh, I was gonna say that's crazy. Like, look at how fast Shy gets his translocator force. Crazy. And you know who did that? You know who did that? Check it. There it is. Spy check. Oh my gosh. Okay, remember, guys. Remember the weakness of the Ana Zen. Or the strength of the Ana Zen is being able to hold like the back angles where he can't get dove. Now, as soon as you walk forward to here, you open up the sight line for you to be flanked. And guess what happens? He gets flanked. Because you're like, oh, the Diva dive, right? Well, yes, but also Tracer dive, right? And once again, Leave. This is honestly a really big mistake from Leave. I don't care if you have Pulse Bomb. You're playing Ana Zen backline. You have to shoot Tracer. You have to shoot Tracer. I don't like this. I really don't like this. This is so frustrating to me. This is so frustrating to me. This is just way too easy. Way too easy to just dive in, walk in this in. And remember, again, as soon as you guys walk forward, you're open up. You open wide open. And look at them. They're still going. They're still going. And it doesn't matter, right? Because they could just bomb. There's the bomb. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That's just wild to me. That's just wild to me. And then now, you probably will see Nano Tracer here, probably, and they'll try and get on the Prophet, but obviously you could just Kiriko ult and point if you survive long enough to get Nano. So they're hard marking the Sombra. The Shatter should be free, on even if it's just a Diva. This is what we were expecting, right? This is kind of what we're expecting. Yeah, the Dynasty play has been very enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's been a lot of fun to watch. There's a Kiriko on the flank, and they dodge the Ryan to go for backline. That's cute. Because that's one of the weaknesses of the Kiriko, is that, like, it can be just shut off by Ryan, right? So they dive in deep. That's a great sleep. Great peel. Profits out. This is not bad from Spark. And then they trade backlines here. This is an okay setup from Spark. I like this. There's the MP. It's fat. And then now we Nano Zen. Now? Nano Tracer, and then now we Nano Zen. There it is. There it is. Oh! 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 I'm sorry for doubting. I'm sorry for doubting, y'all. I'm sorry for doubting. I immediately apologize. Oh! Oh my gosh! Whoa! Woo! Okay. Alright. I see you. Big slam. No comment. But yeah, this is kind of like what we talked about with the Ana Zen. Like, it's so hard for the Diva Tracer to reach it. Like, you saw how far they had to go. Junior's just going to reset. And then do we see a swap here? Surely. Yeah, we see a swap. I don't know. Okay, let's try and predict the swap. Let's try and predict the swap. Predict the swap. Predict the swap. I think they're on Zen and they're on Ana, and they have Trance now, so they've kind of committed to the quote-unquote spam mirror. So I'm thinking maybe we see Sigma Zen? The Ryan is tough in the choke. I don't think Ram, because I don't think you're going to be able to reach the backline with your Nemesis form. They're going to sit and spawn. And I don't think Zarya, because Zarya's not too good right now. I don't think Reinhardt, because I don't think Void would swap to Reinhardt into Gushui. I don't think Winston, although Winston maybe, because you could play for like Nano Primal, and Void is, even if he's not that good of a Winston, it's okay. Doom would feel really bad in this point, agreed. Orisa actually wouldn't be that bad. There's not a lot of high ground, there's not a lot of mobility, and like you could shoot, like you're not great versus Reinhardt, but Orisa could do okay, but obviously, yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna, I would guess Sigma. Ball has no space whatsoever. I would say maybe Sigma Zen, and they're gonna do it the last possible second and get out of spawn quick, so Shy doesn't go back and like swap Sombra or something foolish like that. Doom? Okay, I mean, Doom is a little better. If your backline doesn't need peel anymore. There's the counter swap to Sombra. Huh. Not what I would have expected at all. But, you know. I think if Spark plays this one correctly, I don't think Spark should die to this at all. I think Doomfist into Ana Zen is rough if the Ana Zen are positioned really well. Because you can only win if you bait sleep and kill somebody, but if they're positioned in like really safe angles, I don't know that you can kill them. And every mistake that you make will get you killed. Play to bully the Rhine, but I don't think you can bully the Rhine without a Discord or something of your own. Like I don't think the Gushui should never die. Reinhardt is literally just played because you could sit in this choke and hold point, and then if the backline gets too aggressively, you walk on the backline. There's just no high ground. There's not a lot of good flanks. You just play the hero that's best in main, and that's Reinhardt. Not saying that's how you always play Reinhardt, but that's what his strength is. So, you know. I don't doubt Soul's team play, but I would be surprised if we saw a cap here with this comp. I still don't understand the Ashe, by the way. Like, I want that to be known. I still don't understand the Ashe swap on late third. When the sightlines get tight, you do not go Ashe, you stay Cass. Especially with the fall off change. I feel like Cass is even better at mid range than Ashe here. I don't get it. Oh, Junker Queen. No, I don't think I would have liked Junker Queen. This is crazy from Shy. Let's just enjoy this. Who's your daddy? I think, yeah, we need to play very heavily to mark Prophet and Void to make sure they don't stage on backline. I actually don't really like Leave. Okay, you guys want a smoking hot take? I would prefer, I think, Tracer over Sombra for Leave. Comfort pick, fair enough. I think I would prefer the Tracer more for marking Prophet and marking Void than I like the Sombra. I think Sombra's more of a higher risk, higher reward player. I just shoot the Tracer and Doomfist with Discord and you will win. That's it. I don't like the Sombra as much because he's good. I think the Sombra's honestly like a skill check for Doomfist. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we need the Sombra here. I want to watch a little bit here. Like this is why, case in point, like that right there is more of a mistake from Prophet than it is the Sombra showing her true colors. Like I feel like just a Tracer sitting here with Harmony and Discord would do this job but do it better. I know I'm the king of horrific timing when it comes to saying things like this, but you guys could probably see what I'm saying. Just can't sustain on the flank. Exactly. And that's what actually makes you vulnerable to Ana Zen, I feel like. Like you need a Tracer that can hold space and prevent the flank from being taken so that your Zen just doesn't die off of cooldown. That being said, I'm a lot more sus on the Doomfist than I am sus on the Sombra. Ha, Gushui. Can you guys hear my cat whining? Cause she wants to go outside. I might have to tell her to be quiet. Put her on my lap or something. I don't want it to be like annoying. Oh, pfft. What happens? Yeah, she's been kind of loud. I'm gonna have to do something. Oh, whoa! It didn't stick, so it detonated immediately. That's hilarious. Yeah, I just don't. There's the Ryan swap. Okay, the Doom swapped off of. Nice. There's the Ryan swap. We're still on the Kiriko, which makes sense if you play Kiriko like this, so that this is at least good. This is like, you remember we talked about this, guys. If you don't have an angle to support, take an angle on yourself. Just grab the cat. I'll get it in a second. Let me just finish this defense. They hunt, they clear the Sombra. They're just gonna W key with trance, and that should be it. Yeah. Good credit to Lee Sumin and Tracer to try, because this is how you'd have to win, is to try, especially because they don't have Tracer, to try and abuse like your Kiriko Tracer advantage on the flank. But I don't think it's gonna be enough. It's a nice shatter. It's gonna force a big mess, and yeah, that's a full hold. Full hold, I say. Close enough. Amari, come here. Amari, come here. Come here. Come here. She's coming. Come here. Come here. Don't fuss. Come here. Look. Hey. Hey. So she'll probably sit in my lap now. Uh-oh, now she's gonna chase her brother, who's come over and to investigate. He's a little bit of an instigator. And now they're going to play and probably run screaming across the floor. Okay, let's move on to the next map. So yeah, I mean, Seoul is just really showing themselves to be the better team, at least this early in scrims. In scrims, early in the season. So don't do that as you will. I have a question. Is there a good rule of thumb to decide between peeling off divers and settling your own? I really think it depends on the position that you're in. So like, let's say you have, like, you guys saw that with Void there. Like when Void had a really good high ground and was staged closer to the enemy backline, rather than try and turn around all the way around and chase for his backline when they were being pressured, he needed to trust that his good backline positions would be safe enough, and that he needed to make sure that there was no follow-up to the dive or dive himself. It obviously depends on the hero. Something like a Winston should almost never peel, should almost always try and trade backlines. But the big thing is that, like, just try and using the positions that you already have to try to control space. If you're positioned closer to your dive, to your backline, then probably prioritizing peeling backline as a diva. If you're positioned closer to the enemy DPS, then probably prioritize and prevent the follow-up. So this will be fun. I guess for me, this will be a theoretically here. Everybody outside of, like, you know, Prophet and Leave, I feel like, chat, is Prophet a better tracer than Leave? I haven't followed in his, like, what do you guys think about Monk versus Lee Sumin? Because Gushui and Shai, I feel like Shai is probably the better Sojourn, and Gushui is probably the better Monkey. So I feel like in terms of mechanics here, Spark should have the advantage for comfort picks right now. So it'll come down to more of the team play. You know what I'm saying? And this is a very team play oriented composition. So I will be interested to see how this goes. But yeah, I don't really want to get into the details of this. If any of you guys have sat in on any of my Winston Sojourn reviews, we've talked about it a lot. A lot of it's about passive advantage, taking good angles so that your Sojourn does more damage to the enemy Monkey and the enemy backline. Therefore, not only does she do more damage, but she also builds a rail, which means that we have an advantage in the neutral. We need to be timing our Winston bubbles when we're also pressuring at the same time. Obviously, this first choke is disgusting. It's just a horrific map design. Shame on you, Blizzard. However, as the map opens up, we want to make sure that we're setting up a little bit of an angle with a Tracer at the same time, even if it's just the mirror of the enemy Tracer. Yeah. That's the big one. Kiriko should be probably heel botting Winston as much as she can, and then looking for angles when she can. But yeah, hot take, y'all. Hot take. This was a fine grand finals matchup because it was fresh and unique. But I find this to be one of the most boring mirrors in Overwatch history. It's like one step up from, like, the Moira Reaper composition for me. I just don't find. I don't know. I just don't find it very interesting to watch. It's weird because I like Winston and Tracer and Lucio and so on, but, like, the mirror is just so not the most interesting in the history of the universe. Maybe I'm just used to seeing it just fight toe to toe and Colosseo and stuff. Yeah. I don't know what the most fun mirror to watch. I think Ana Zen mirror is fun to watch personally. I like Ana Zen mirror. It's probably my favorite mirror to watch. I think Ana Zen mirror is like a lot of macro, but also a lot of like a good healthy dosage of mechanics as well. And even though I am a coach, I enjoy watching mechanical pop-offs. Like, I don't like sitting the double snipers, you know, but I do like mechanical pop-offs. You know, I think like having some agency that you can win a fight through mechanics is not something I want to rely on every time, but it's a little bit of nuance here. Overwatch 1 probably counts. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I think Ana Zen is fun, even if it's with like with Ball or with Winston. You know, I think it's more interesting. And the Ana Kiriko has looked pretty fun too. Why is Tracer better than Reaper in the mirror in this map? Okay, so here's the thing. I will touch on this briefly. I go in way more detail on the Glads versus Saints thing, which I just uploaded to YouTube this morning. So if you guys want to hear more about that, skip to that, Matt Esperanca. But basically the idea is that Tracer has received buffs since then. Such that, and also people were playing Tracer in scrims, right? Reaper just was like the last minute panic swap that everyone wanted to play because Dallas, I'm pretty sure it was Dallas that started it in scrims. And basically, long story short, Tracer's going to be good at controlling angles and controlling the enemy sojourn and has more uptime. Reaper is more cyclical, more tempo oriented. So Tracer, and also more teams have good Tracers, and there aren't very many teams with good Reapers. Dallas has a good Reaper, London has a good Reaper with Backbone, but everybody should have a decent Tracer. So Reapers, it wouldn't even say he's hard to play, he's just different to play. So it takes a lot of skill set that you don't really build up. Yeah. It's the first one. It's the London versus Vancouver one. Yeah, it's the London versus Vancouver one. There's the little plus gladiator sign at the end. You can skip to Esperanca, and then at the end there you'll see it. I think that's how it's pronounced, Esperanca, Esperanca, something like that. Yeah. You need the Reaper game as a fast, but yeah, you kind of need it. Like, you need to be a really good communicator and be like really disciplined with your tank. But yeah, yeah. But I do think Reaper's better in the first fight, but then I think as the map opens up and like angles and flanks open up, I do think nowadays Tracer is probably better. Assassin, Esperanca, Esperanca. Okay, listen, I'm white and American. I have like the pronunciation debuff upon birth, so it kind of stinks. Asked me to roll my R's, and I'm gonna give you a look. You know, I can't even roll my R like. No, not gonna do it. I'm not gonna embarrass myself. Amari, no. Okay, so you can see that both Sojourns are trying. This is kind of funny. Look at the little X that we have here, where like both Sojourns are on the same side, trying to take an angle on the enemy Winston to build rail and or get a little bit of early damage. Yeah, at least everybody understands me. Maybe. Are you sure they understand me if I really say really fast? Not so much, you know. Now, Shy goofs a little bit. He has rail. So then he starts to swing, but he goes, oh crap, he messes up. And then there's the Tracer. Like this is just a big mess. Like they're trying to like, if we can get our Tracer to like stage here, we can kind of get a lot of pressure from our Tracer here. But then if our Tracer, or if we're mirroring, then we're both fighting here. And what ends up happening is both Kirikos and Lucios end up fighting each other over here because we both want to take this flank for our Tracer. And so you have like, people don't even care about the robot anymore because they're trying to fight the flank so they can dive the enemy backline. And then Winston's, I mean, this is interactive Winston gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. I hate this map so much! Come on, man, like, please, remove the glass! Remove it! Get rid of it! Stop delaying! Remove the glass! Remove the glass! Remove the glass! Remove the glass! Please, I'm so tired of sitting here with these stupid neutral stalemates that just go on for hours and hours. Nobody enjoys this. Stop. Nobody wants to see your stupid Spartan face. Get rid of the glass so that we can actually have a flanker, an angler, or Winston's maybe soft diver who can take it. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. Get rid of it. Please. It's so frustrating. It's been here for forever. And the same thing happens in freaking ranked and gold games. They don't know how to play this. At gold games, we have stalemates here. When the gold players don't know what to do and the Overwatch League players don't know what to do, there's a common theme. It's the map, right? It's the map. I'm so tired of this. What was it, like 2 or 3 minutes of like, just so every single time this matchup is played, it's the same thing. It's so much better without the glass. Imagine how many options it open up. Get rid of the glass, please. This is so dull. Every single time that I watch this map, it comes down to somebody either makes a goofy mistake or somebody hits a crazy shot. There's never any like big brain strategy or they use their cooldowns better. It's just the same stuff. It's so frustrating to me. It's just like complete. And the thing is, it's like it's not even that terrible of a map. Like there are definitely some things about Colosseo that are really frustrating and Push is controversial, but this is such a simple fix. Just get rid of it. Like Circuit Royale, I feel like it's like fundamentally broken map. Like I don't even know how you fix this one, but just get rid of the glass. Get rid of the glass, and don't make it so you can get tasks from high ground. And then that's it. Like that. We still have push issues, yeah, but like, it's just so. What? Wake me up, y'all. Wake me up when something happens. Let's just relax. Like, I'm not even interested to watch what's happening right now. I'm just not even interested to watch. Like, we're 60 seconds in before something even happens. It's so frustrating to me. Like, guys, come on. So Prophet, they decide to give up the flank. But because this flank is so nasty to take, well, that's the thing, is like you're like, oh, this flank is decent, but it's also like really hard to take because you have to go so deep, you know? And so then Lee goes, oh, they have shot, so I guess we just don't win the flank anymore. And then Prophet walks forward. Prophet goes in really deep, kind of baits attention, recalls out. That forces them to... I don't feel like the backline from Spark is playing this one very well. They kind of let the shot decay. So yeah, getting your slide and Suzu force there is pretty sussy baka. And then railing Winston. Wait, does he rail Bubble or does he rail Winston? So that's not good from Shy. We should never have both slide and Suzu force by a dry monkey jump with no follow-up. That's a mistake. He rails monkey, that's fine. But then he doesn't have slide in time and dies for it because we don't have Suzu. Deserver, thank you so much for the sub. So yes, that is a big mistake from Shy. Positional, bad cooldown trade. But there's nothing about this that was particularly clever or creative or interesting or disciplined from Solo. It's just a bad cooldown trade. And then even that was after like 50 seconds of just staring at each other. Like, ugh. Gross. And then the worst part about this map too is it's like, I don't know. I just don't even care anymore, man. Build a charge shot. Krillin gets domed. Yonkies. This has been a remark. I just don't like it. It doesn't help that this mirror is so boring too. I'm sorry, Chad. I have a bad attitude about this. I think it's because I've analyzed this mirror so much that it's kind of left, I'm just kind of sick of it. It's like if I have to coach another Kiriko, I'm going to scream. I shouldn't be so negative. The Colosseo thing, I don't apologize for that, but I shouldn't be so whiny. I get to hang out with my friends, my family, my BFFs in chat. Okay, so they're gonna lose lead. So they're gonna clear Shy. Void has to use Bubble. This is a big mistake. Okay, so Void needs the way you play this comp, especially when people are hard committing, is you generally need to find the slow kid. You guys remember when we were talking about the slow kid with the Cassidy, right? Basically, you need to find the slow kid, and then that's the person that you target when the ult fights get messy, right? And that's usually Sojourn, because her mobility is not quite as good as other heroes. The problem here is that Void has already lost 100 armor for what? To shoot a right click and miss it? And Lee Sumin doesn't assist Void. Void jumps in hard. And this sucks. This sucks. Because we've had to use our bubble on a dry, just a random clearing Sojourn jump, right? Terrible cooldown trade. Terrible cooldown trade right now. And not only that, but Liu Sumin also has to TP in with us. Sucky baka. Now Gushui can go in hard. And Prophet, this is going to be chaos. Prophet, I say. Junior, right? Now, does Shy get greedy as a result? That's the question. Yes, Shy does. This is silly. This is silly. Silly, 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 silly. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to. This is not. I don't like. I'm interested in the bubble mistake and the peeking mistake and the timing and the split. Shy just ends. Pulse Bomb just slides up. He's trolling. He's trolling. He's 80 HP. He doesn't have slide. The enemy team has ults. Ah! So, from there, we get the Kiriko ult on high ground. The Kiriko ult is really nicely placed. Everybody gets to capitalize off of it and use the high ground at the same time. So this is a really nicely good placed ult by Lee Sumin. Gu Shui tries to pursue after forcing slide with Primal. So he's going to jump into a Primal after the boop. So they do clear the high ground, but obviously being down one, if you're not able to kill, and I told you the Sojourn focus, right? If you're not able to get that kill fast, you're in serious trouble, and they don't get the kill fast. Now, the other thing here, too, as well, is that Monk pops Kiriko ult in response. Oh. See, Chad, this is why you don't whine. This is why you don't whine. Oh, okay. She's been very whiny. Very, that's okay. I just whining in general. Yeah, sure. This is okay, so this is why you don't whine, ladies and gentlemen, because obviously that Suzu, that whole thing was just a bit of a disaster, right? Okay. But do you see this, guys? Watch. Bad mistake. Hey, Berkeley, thank you so much. It's another reason why you shouldn't be grumpy. Nice people say nice things. Gu Shui is Primal. Shouldn't need help. We need to be supporting our Sojourn. And we definitely should not be TPing away from our Sojourn. This is a huge, huge, huge mistake from both Shy and Monk simultaneously. It's beautifully timed. And right there. That's a big deal. That's a really, really, really big deal right there. This is why you don't whine, because yes, Shy fed, but actually it was a little bit more nuanced than that. It was a little bit more nuanced than that. If Monk had been with his Sojourn, and then the reason, guys, the reason why Gu Shui is even diving aggressively here, and the reason why Monk should not have followed, is because he has Primal. His job is to make sure that his Sojourn survives his first the enemy Primal and plays his own life. He just used TP and heal his Winston and left his Sojourn out to dry. At the same time, while his Sojourn was also feeding with her shift. That is a horrific, horrific trade. Horrific trade. Now, my question here is, why does Void Primal? Because I don't know why Void Primal's here. He gets just a little bit spooked. A little bit unfortunate, but okay. We're also C9 in cart while this stagger is happening, so that's nice. We get like an extra couple of meters out of that. I wouldn't say Kiriko Sojourn need to always be a duo, but as soon as stuff like Primal Beat starts to come online, you have to know that Sojourn's going to be #1 target. And you also have to know when your Winston has Primal, so you don't have to give him too much attention. Let him do his thing. I mean, you see this all the time, and like even in like ranked games where people like Suzu with Primal Winston right as he presses Primal. It's like a horrible trade, right? They're like, oh, I thought you didn't know you had Primal. So I don't know if that was just like a little bit of a, like we weren't thinking about Sojourn. I don't know what it was, but that is a big mistake. Junior baits the dive. Please tell me, like even this is just kind of silly. Like this is a big deal. We can't just like almost die to that. Oh goodness. And the reason why that's bad is I think there was some sort of plan to push with Sojourn ult here. But we don't get it supported well enough. So then while Junior's on the way out, Winston's on the way in. So it's like ships passing in the night. And then that kind of leaves Void out to dry because now Void has to back up while Junior's going in. They use the beat, but honestly, I don't know. This is a bit of a mess. Monk. I will say we're having similar issues again here with the Sojourn. This is the second time that I dry Winston jump. Guys, when I say dry, I don't, or naked, or I think I'm just trying to say, like, when there's no follow-up, there's no additional ults, there's no additional pincer, that's just the Winston. But like this can't happen. Like, I don't want Monk on top of Shy because I can't have that forcing Suzu as that easily. Because now, I mean, it's definitely mechanics, but like we should have had Suzu for this. There's no spice, right? It's just, it's so easy for like a Winston. Please tell me a Winston jump doesn't force jump or slide and Suzu and amp. It looked like as well. It shouldn't happen. You shouldn't happen. You should have better spacing. So what that would look like is you'd have your Sojourn playing aggressively here, and then you'd probably have your Kiriko here, even peeking point, like here, or peeking this angle here, while healing your Sojourn. So your Sojourn, your Kiriko can heal or hit the Tracer, and then as the Sojourn's sliding out, the Kiriko can heal the Sojourn while shooting Tracer, right? And you need to trust the Lucio duel, and as long as the Winston can't reach you outside of bubble, if you're here, he can't, then you don't need to worry about it. This is a quote-unquote, right, soft jump from Void. We need to be able to peel this without using a Suzu and a slide. That is way too much here. And that's a positioning problem from Monk. Positioning problem, which the reason why I'm being so obsessive over this is because that's a bad mistake that then will cost you. Case in point, we don't have a Suzu. Whereas if we have Suzu here, we disengage this, we trade 2 ults for 1. And yes, we have to give up lead, but that was not well executed. Okay, so I assume we're able to get lead here. Everything's fine and dandy. Prophet goes for a pulse, doesn't end up working out. You try to do it immediately after, so we should be able to disengage this. Not good from Shy. Not good from Shy. Chat, what's the problem here? What's the problem? You guys watch the Vancouver-Vegas matchup. You should know the problem here. You should know the problem. You've used slide. The enemy team has used 0 cooldowns. Sun Tzu. Yep. When you are strong right now because you have. Then you cannot rush in and appear strong. You have no way of chasing anymore. You have no way of chasing anymore. This would be probably unwise even if you did have your shift, because it'd be still possible for the enemy team to kite it out. Why not just walk, take an angle, shoot point, and then look for an opportunity to shift later? The enemy team has used 0 cooldowns, so guess what they do? They jump, they bubble, they blink, they Suzu, they TP, they have amp, right? It's just a bad play. It's just a bad play. And unless they hit the shot, then they don't get anything out of it. We needed our slide there for that to work. We needed our slide, or we needed to force enemy cooldowns first before we did that there. Probably both. So that's just a free 2 ults for 1. For 0, actually. 2 ults for 0. And then we go back and staring at each other for about 6 hours until we get our Kiriko ult. Oh, bless me, this map. Wait for it. We have Kiriko ult now. Now we're going to start walking forward. We probably won't use any cooldowns, though, just in case we want to disengage. You know, the funny thing is, too, as well, is you could make a good argument for Seoul not to do anything at all, because they have the lead advantage, so they could probably just stall here forever. And they probably also track that the enemy team has support ult now, so they're like, well, what's the point of setting tempo here? Like, we're just wait, play the corner, make them overextend. So let's just enjoy this. There's nothing to analyze here. Both soldiers are trying to take an angle. Gushui is trying to walk forward. He gets poked out, and this is the problem with the lack of glass. Gushui tries to walk forward to set up a dive, but because Prophet or Junior has a better angle, by walking forward, you expose yourself to taking more damage than the enemy Winston, which then means you have to hide. Case in point. Now we're gonna go. There's the Kiriko ult. So after a nice 45-second interval, there's the Kiriko ult. And Gushui gets punished. So let's talk this one through. Jump, bubble, Sojourn focus. Kiriko ult is used. Both Kiriko ults are used. Gushui gets caught without bubble, jumps in the air, and dies. How does Void survive? Void does not have to use jump. Void, do you notice that Void can bubble second, right? Bubbling second is not an inherent advantage or disadvantage. The difference here is that Spark had to use cooldowns to do anything. Seoul didn't have to use a single thing. Seoul didn't have to do anything. Seoul, it's not about who's first or who's second. If you're first and you get an advantage, it's fine. But there is no advantage to diving here first. Because my Winston is able to easily peel off the backline in the same way that Gushui was trying to do it. But the difference here, let's keep dissecting this a little bit further by a little bit further. We also don't get Suzu off on our tank. It's easy. Dynasty literally just sits there and does nothing. Like they hold the choke, they hold the corner, you jump into us. Like the funny thing, guys, is we guys always talk about setting tempo, but if setting tempo means you give up the map, you better have an advantage to go here. There is no advantage to go off of here. This is why Colosseo in this point is so bad, because it is almost impossible to create an advantage through superior angles. You can't. You just sit here and then you try and set tempo, but because the enemy team has done nothing and you're using cooldowns first, the enemy team can use cooldowns after you, just as a cherry on the cake, right? I don't know. So if you don't one-shot Shy there, or Prophet, or oh my gosh, Junior here, this isn't gonna work. Easy. All of your resources, and all you did was force a Suzu and slide. Basically, the TLDR, guys, is a neutral ground. The advantage of going first is more psychological than it is anything else, where you catch the enemy team off guard and you get your timing all lined up. But if the defending team is able to hold a corner and force you to walk into their space where they have angles and they have a choke, then you are at a disadvantage if they respond to it well. Think about it, the equivalent of this way is if you had a Rhine versus a Rhine, both in a choke, and both had to try to capture the enemy team's flag. If neither team did anything, nothing would happen, right? However, if one team walked through the choke to try and capture the enemy team at Ryan's flag, the fact of walking through the choke means that you're automatically a disadvantage in the fight. So what happens is both teams stalemate at each other and don't do anything until one of them gets bored and tries to do something. The only way that you could break the choke like that is to either have more ults than the enemy team, or you land a mechanical shot through the choke, or through some miracle the enemy team messes up and uses a couple of cooldowns. Like let's say Junior there had accidentally used his slide, or like let's say he messed up and shot rail and didn't have rail, or like let's say they accidentally used Suzu. Then you could go through the choke, because them not having Suzu compensates for the fact that you just had to walk through a choke. How would Spark have to play that to have an advantage? I don't know. There isn't a way outside of trying to build an ultimate before you went and hoping through the chaos that compensates for the fact that you just walked through the choke. That's the problem, because when it's another map, there are ways that you can rotate and fight a flank and flip the map and try a cheese play to compensate for the fact that you have to walk through the choke. With this map, there is no way to compensate. There is no way to compensate. That you can't flip them, you can't do anything. So you have to sit there and wait. Literally the best thing that Spark could have done here is sit here and roll the dice and pray that Shy hit a shot. or pray that Shy hits a shot that forces a couple of cooldowns, or farm up a primal. The enemy team will also farm up a primal, but again, the more ultimates online, the more that there's more chaos. You sow instability to where RNG can kick into play more. And if you're at a disadvantage, RNG is your friend. There's really nothing you can do. Like again, the analogy is that both teams are standing at a choke, and neither team wants to cross the enemy team into the other team's choke. That's Colosseo. It has nothing to do with setting tempo is bad. Setting tempo is fine if it doesn't lose you a ton of, if it doesn't walk into the enemy team's off angles, right? And that's exactly what happens. And it was smart from Seoul, because Seoul goes, we can just hold the corner an advantage and just wait for you to do something, because we have lead. We don't have to do anything. Basically, Hanamura first, right? Wouldn't that make snipers really good for this part of the map? Yeah, well, yes and no, because snipers are played here on this map way disproportionately more than you think they would, because teams do tend to get stuck here. However, if you go lean too far into the sniper thing, you do open yourself up to getting flanked here. But if you were to run like a Widow Tracer, then yeah, it wouldn't be bad. Yeah. It just becomes a little bit more of a liability as the map opens up. Not opens up in terms of sightlines, but in terms of the flanks open up. Okay, so now, again, we're in a situation where there's going to be a couple of ultimates online, so Lee Soo-min really needs to make sure that we pocket Junior out here. Void kind of plays for himself. There's the dive with Primal. Prophet's just going to sit on cart, honestly. All we have to do now is keep Junior alive, and this fight should go fine. This is a pretty nice kite, I will say, from Spark, though. So, and I don't like... I mean, this feels a little bit ambitious from Junior, because he's gonna get Primal now and he doesn't have his slide. He might actually die for this. Yeah, he does. Yeah, that was ambitious. You can't use your shift like this when they have Primal. Even if you're primaling their backline and you have the ultimate, you have the advantage, you expose yourself to being primaled now. So unless you beat this the second that you get primaled, but that's a massive ult trade, right? You know what I'm saying? This is a really good play from Gushui. This is a mistake from Junior. Big mistake from Junior. You need your cooldown there, and then that's a beat for essentially nothing, because now they don't have the Sojourn, so they won't kill anything. Now the cart's being C9'd. Void, please tell me you don't use Primal. Shouldn't work. Big mistake. Big mistake. Big mistake from both Prophet, or I guess Prophet, as in Junior, and big mistake from Krillin, and then a big mistake from Void. And that is exactly how you win push. Doing things like that. Now Gushui gets super split. Okay, they save him. Nice, that's huge. And they're getting the cart C9 while they're doing it. Wow, that was monstrous. Not ideal, right? The big thing there is that we shouldn't shift in when they have Primal or Beat, because you're going to get run over for not having your shift. Because even if your team matches ult for ult, you need your shift to be able to disengage. Looked like a play Shock would have gone for, right? But Shock would have hit the shot. And Shock would have also had a beat sooner so that their Sojourn doesn't just instantly die to Primal. So that is almost, that could, if Spark plays this really well, that could be a map losing mistake right there. That could be a map losing mistake. Yeah. So how will they take high ground? How will they take high ground? So I do think here the play is to take high ground. When you have Beat, Pulse, Sojourner, I think like when they have such an overwhelming ult advantage, I don't think you play for cart. I think you try to set up cart and then try to look for an opportunity to go high ground. And again, Sojourn becomes priority. So I imagine we'll probably see a 3-2-1. Gushui jumps up top. We TP up top. Remember, we're playing a comp that everybody can go high ground whenever they want. So we'll probably see a Beat engage here, with probably a Sojourn ult, actually, just to make sure that they win the fight. There it is. They don't even need the Beat. Shy is... Why is Shy dying, mate? Like, Shy should be getting supported here. This is a set play. How does he die? It must be Lee Soo-min must hit a headshot. That's it. I knew it. There was no way anything could kill him that fast without a massive mistake from Monk. little bit of an early shot at Suzu there, but yeah. Asymmetrical comms and Colosseo that we went over? I don't know, honestly. Yeah, the Suzu was probably because they think Junior has shot. Does Junior have shot? Yeah, so if Junior has shot, this is reasonable to Suzu early to make sure that you guarantee win the duel, but yeah. Not great for Monk. Should be still a good fight win, though, as long as we're able to peel properly. Our bubble's still alive, which helps out a lot. Maybe we should beat this even if we need to. I don't know, maybe that feels so cheesy, mate. Like, there's just no way. Like, these are like unlosable fights that just keep getting lost. Still not the end of the world, though. You have kind of reset the support ults, but you still have a primal advantage. You still have a pulse advantage. You did push cart a little bit, and there is a brief window of time where you do have a support ult advantage. So I'm going to be looking to see Junior really guard his shift cooldown. Oh, never mind. That's just mechanics. That's really nice. They always get that a little bit of initial tickle damage, right? Like one bullet. You know, that's all you need. They go in hard. Void's just zoning backline. We trade Monkey. We get Shy. And that's a really, really big fight win for Seoul right there, because that completely closes the window for Spark to win it. Because Spark had a window 2 fights in a row where they had an ult advantage. They failed to capitalize in either one because of a goof up from both, from Monk both times. And then that now means that by the time the next fight rolls around, not only will they have good spawns, but support ults are now even. Primal might as well be even. They actually have a Sojourn ult advantage as well. So, yeah. Now, I would argue that Seoul, within the next 10 or 15 seconds, will have an ultimate advantage. So what we'll probably see here is we'll probably see Kiriko ults traded, beats used at some point in time. Both Sojourns have to be super careful. There's this. Now, this is really interesting. So this is what they do. I want you guys to watch this. This is where you can see from the experience of Gushui kicking in, because you're like, why? Look at this jump from Gushui. Do you see this? This is actually such a nice little detail that I'm still learning a lot from this kind of stuff. So they jump the Kiri kind of, but what they do is they turn their attention to Sojourn and then place bubble. This immediately splits both Sojourn and Kiriko. And so then as everybody turns their attention to Junior, you know what's going to happen right now. You know what's going to happen. Junior is going to have to slide across, right? He's going to slide over here towards his team. Then Gushui, he's going to slide either into the Kiriko ult, or Gushui is then going to pop Primal and knock him off the map. He's by splitting him with jump, he's forcing the shift earlier rather than later, even though they haven't popped a single ultimate yet. Oh, actually, they have popped the ultimate, but that's not what's actually forcing the slide here. So we'll probably see Junior slide in. Well, he actually goes out, but now he's isolated and killed. That's crazy. That right there is a little bit of, probably would have liked Lee Sumin to pop the Kitsune a little bit earlier. But that's just a really, really nice jump from Gushui. And then I think Lee Sumin messes up the TP as well, which sucks, because he TPs across to where he thinks his Sojourn is, but his Sojourn splits. So Junior's got some growing pains, for sure. We've seen that so far in really all 3 of the maps. But yeah, that's actually such a nice fight win from Spark. Why does Al like Winston so much? Because Al is full of good Winstons, and Winston is a relatively strong hero, but is harder to play. This is a really big fight, chat. This is probably this might be a map deciding fight right here. So we get a little sloppy, Gushui does, when they're up 1 or up 2, but they have good spawns. So Junior's right here. Gushui jumps here. Probably didn't need to jump here. This is just kind of like a little bit of tickle damage. It's kind of lazy, and then that triggers Seoul to flip the switch. Bubble used. Let's go, guys. Kitsune rush, Suzu. Everybody burn Gushui. We force beat, but we also have our Sojourn in a really good angle, and with a little bit of distance, and her shift. So this could really go either way. This really could go either way. Even with Prophet and Spawn, this really could go either way. So there's the primal. Now, all we have to do now is focus Gushui and survive. And if Void can survive this, then we're good to go. Yep, Void survives it. Not only will Void survive it, but he will easily primal backline. There's the primal Shy. Either Shy will die or Gushui will die, I imagine. There's the beat. Probably not even necessary. And actually, it's in that order. Shy then Gushui. That was a good flip the switch. They utilized the use of Gushui's Winston bubble to take the opportunity to quickly ult, and because Gushui doesn't have bubble or jump now, they have to panic beat really, really fast. And then because their Sojourn is now playing here, their Sojourn's at 0 risk. Yeah. What are the odds Hog gets any play this Owl season? Almost 0, unless depending on his rework. Almost 0. So that's a classic example of a 4v5 going your way because you have the space and ult and cooldown advantage. Gushui messes up with this bubble, gets punished for it almost immediately. You wouldn't even notice that the bubble was a waste until you look back at it slowly and realize what it actually cost. The reason the bubble was a waste is because the bubble waste by Gushui is what forced the beat to happen so fast. And the beat happening so fast meant that they were not able to push enough with the beat to counter the Kiriko ult. So again, we get the jump. This time, Lee Sumin and Junior are playing a little bit closer together so they don't get split. So then they're able to kite easier. See, this is what a jump from Winston should force. Even a good Winston like Gushui, right? Look at this. Look at this. A little bit of distance. They jump far. They do have to shift. Actually, they don't even have to shift. They just amp speed and walk away. No Suzu, just healing. That's what should be the norm for backlines. Backlines need to aim for this. You should never have to Suzu and slide. They don't even have to use either. That's optimal. So now, Junior can actually W key forward because he has his shift still and we still have Suzu. And Gushui actually will have to give up space. And then now you have your Sojourn in a good angle again. And you haven't really had to use anything. Prophet tries to ego a little here. Check this one. I think he was aiming for Monkey, actually. That's funny. Why do we get Bubble or Suzu forced over here? No way that Suzu should be forced here. Do you guys see this again? Really nice boot from Lengsa. Oh, is it the pulse bomb? It must be the pulse bomb. It must be the pulse bomb. I was wondering why Monk uses... Ah, come on! So I think again it's Monk's positioning here. Like why are we walking this far forward, Monk? Heal your team, trust your tank, trust your Lucio, check the tracer flank. This is Monk's Kiriko has been a big problem this map. Because now we don't have Suzu. So now we're exposed to them just W keying forward and you can't now you can't keep this up. Wait, how does Void die? Oh, he gets split. He gets split. So he overstays his welcome a little bit here. He walks outside a bubble, takes too much damage. He needs to jump back to his team. Instead, he overstays his welcome, and he gets railed, and then he ends up kiting the wrong direction. So that's a big mistake by Void. Big mistake by Void. What did you say earlier about Monk Kiriko? I'm not familiar with Monk Kiriko, honestly, y'all. I don't think we saw enough Kiriko to really know, but it doesn't look super tight. This is Spark and Seoul Dynasty. I realize I always have to elaborate on the Seoul part. Always takes me a second. Oh, got it. So they're gonna go in hard. They're just gonna force him out. You see the way that they went in though. It was not. It was the way Void jumps is he jumps to cover. So it's not like, oh, I jump in and I feed. He jumps and immediately forces the Sojourn out. But if he gets pushed here, he just ducks into cover. Right? They can't really punish him for using bubble and jump there. Bump and juggle. Good disengage. Really nice disengage. The only problem obviously is that Void doesn't have bubble. So then Monk counters that with, I think honestly Monk could have gone even sooner here. Monk should have gone even sooner here. That being said, because they don't have bubble, Prophet's gonna die. So not a bad Kiri ult. They saw enough cooldowns to make it work, and that's why the kite didn't work. I mean, the reason why that kite didn't work is because they had used a couple cooldowns. That's why. And that's a really big fight win. You get good spawns now. Not that the good spawns really matter that much because you need to win all the rest of the fights. But yeah. Oh, so they're gonna try and set tempo. I just don't like it that much, guys. It's not the idea that's I don't like. It's the execution. Look at this execution. No. Where is my tracer? Even just the tracer, much less the Sojourner or Kyria or just anybody here, please. This just isn't gonna work. Even with somebody as good as Gooseway, you need follow-up. You're not gonna be able to buy enough cart push by yourself for that to matter. So we've used Primal and they've used nothing. So now we're gonna walk forward with our ultimates. There's the Kiriko ult. There's there's everything, right? So there's the beat. And as long as Void can hold on till his Primal, that should probably be the match. Oh. That's huge. That's huge. So they come out with Sojourn. This is actually pretty cute from Gooseway. Gooseway uses his last jump in Primal and then jumps back, and that look at where that puts Junior. Do you see this? So Junior's very late to the party. That's a big one. Void goes N with Kitsune Rush. He bubbles. He jumps again, questionable, and dies for it. 99% Primal. Krillin needs just a little bit of time. This is actually very winnable by Spark. Oh. If they get beat, this map should be over. Oh. They'd get it. Can they get a kill with it? Maybe I spoke too soon. Void comes out of spawn with Primal. They get the kill. Linkson might die. Oh, Linkson must die. Oh, no, that's it, guys. That's it. That... Is it? Surely that's it. Yes. This is insanity. Oh, what? They do an amazing job juggling cart. Prophet? Prophet? Ooh. The most valuable kill you could have gotten? Juggling cart. He dies for it, but now Void's back in. And Junior's back in the Pharah. One rocket could end this. There's a huge rocket on Shy. Ah, this is so stressful. A monster stick. We must hit a direct on leave. We have to hit leave. Oh my gosh. What a butt clincher. Yeah, the Pharah swap is really big. The reason people go Pharah is because it gets out of spawn pretty quick. And Pharah is a great pick for when people fall asleep just a little bit. It's kind of like it's an upgraded Bastion, at least in higher tiers, because one rocket when the enemy team isn't paying attention just kills somebody. Yeah, that's insane. I don't know. Some teams are playing Ryan in some maps. I think Ryan will always be a map specific pick until Ryan actually has a support that can keep him up. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Honestly, some pretty clunky macro play from both ends. Junior struggling a little bit specifically, Void struggling a lot specifically as well. Those two were the weak points for me in this mirror, which isn't a huge surprise. Decent mechanical play from Shy, Leave, and Gushui as well. Definitely lacking the team department. I think Monk's Kiriko looked a little bit ugly. I would like to look at one more VOD, but I'm going to be really sad if this is just more of the same. I think this is a short map though, so that's pleasant. Yeah, Junior did play really well in Junkertown. Okay, more of the same. Tragic. Okay, we'll take a look. I'm going to try and be a little bit more efficient with this map, especially because we kind of know what we're looking for here. But yeah, this mirror is something else. Do people play Ryan in scrims? I don't know. I have heard mixed reports. Let's put it that way. I think that some teams have played Ryan in scrims, but I don't know how much teams play Ryan in scrims. It's definitely a map-specific point. Do you think this mirror is here to stay? I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. Like, Ryan is really... the problem with Ryan, guys, is... the problem with Reinhardt is that Reinhardt is a strong tank. But the heroes that synergize with Ryan, like... honestly, guys, really, it's just BAP. BAP just doesn't... BAP is just not very good, strong. At least not in the high tier environments. Like, just BAP is just not that good of a hero. As soon as ults come online, BAP is just an outdated hero. Smithsonian, honestly, it's just Ana Zen. I like Ana Zen comps. I think those comps, like we talked about it earlier, it's like the perfect balance of like interesting and macro oriented. Oh, Ramaja is the same problems as Ryan, where he's like not super mobile, but actually he's even less mobile than Reinhardt because he doesn't have the charge change has been huge for Ryan. Even with his increased speed, I don't think Ramaja is that good. I think, okay, you guys want a really scalding hot take? Here's your scalding hot take. I don't think Ramaja is a very well designed hero. I don't. I think Reinhardt is interesting and has good dynamics. I think Ramatra's hero design is really, really flat. A cold take, fair enough. It's not just that like, oh, there are parts of this kit I don't like. It's just the overall hero design just doesn't make a lot of sense. His poke weapon isn't good. It's not good. You can't have a hero and then his utility also falls flat. His E is too inconsistent to get consistent value out of. His shield, too inconsistent to get value out of. He has no niche. He loses to Ryan in the Brawl Mirror. He can't dive. He also can't spam. Orisa at least has the advantage of, well, had before they nerfed her guns, just stupidest decision I've ever heard in my life, at least had the advantage of like more consistent mid-range poke and a little bit more self-sustained, but Ramatra isn't even as self-sufficient as Orisa is. And even when he was good for a brief period of time, he was annoying as all get out to play against. His ult is either is a noob stomper. It honestly feels like Ramatra's like a bit of a noob check. Like, if he can walk on top of you and punch you, you've done something wrong. If you get in his ultimate, you've done something wrong. If his E gets value, you've done something wrong. If you're dying to his mouse 1 or taking immense pressure from his mouse 1 and Omnic form, you've done something wrong. I just don't think Ramattra is a good designed hero. They needed to make his shield a lower cooldown and a lower HP, and to be actually not like Sigma level, but something that offered more flexibility. His gun, being the awkward projectile that it is, just has not worked out well at all. It does too much damage and travels too slow to be consistent in any way, shape, or form. His ultimate is frustrating, infuriating, and has no niche outside of just ticking people off. He has no way of playing around CC as a result. His E is beyond disappointing. Who were Shock playing? They were playing Atlanta, and Ram looked horrible there. You don't have to avoid him. His ult is the worst ultimate in the game, not in terms of power, but in terms of design. It's the worst ultimate in the game. But then again, I've talked about this a lot of times, so we'll keep moving on. So yeah, this is kind of what I was expecting Glads and Saints to do. You guys remember some Glads and Saints, where I was expecting like an aggressive Sojourn angle, but this is pretty cool. Like, both Tracers are fighting for this, right? Because both Tracers want to take this angle to prevent the enemy Sojourn and Kiriko from abusing this angle too much. So then what happens is they end up running into each other, and this is like classic mirroring, right? Both teams trying to do the same thing, so they both fight for the same spots. The nice part about Esperanca is at least you can, if you goof up here, you can at least have the map to rotate around elsewhere. So yeah. So then I guess it comes down to a little bit more mechanics than anything else, like who's hitting the shots. Maybe the Kiriko hits a body shot, maybe the Tracer gets a better clip. Like, Prophet right here gets the worst of it, but because Monk isn't able to help in time, they're able to keep Prophet in his business. Like, this is really good from Prophet. Like, Prophet loses this trade, right? Like, he loses this trade, but he doesn't immediately panic. He holds the corner, he holds the space with his positioning. Gushui jumps in, creates a lot of space. Void follows suit. He gets booped out, so then he has to turn around. Honestly, I'm gonna try and describe this as best as I can. This jump from Gushui is probably fine. He should be okay. He has cover to play around. He's getting a lot of pressure out. This is probably okay. He's gonna have his jump soon. Void, I actually think it's the worst of this trade, because Void, it's not like the bubble. This is like what I'm talking about, the bubbling second thing. It has nothing to do with bubbling first or second. Void gets less out of his bubble because he gets booped out of his bubble. So he doesn't actually do anything. He doesn't actually shoot or pressure anybody. So then, yes, he doesn't take a lot of damage, but actually look at how much space Spark has. The problem here is team play. See ya, Caesar. The problem is Shy, for whatever reason, just slides in like this is 2022 to avoid the Winston jump. But my Kiriko, Lucio, and Tracer are sitting under... I don't even know why Leave backed up. I don't understand this. I don't understand the passivity and yet the crazy aggression from Shy. Shy just jumps in there while my backline is completely MIA. So like, if you were gonna do that, you would need your Kiriko to actually go in. So I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. Because here's the thing, is if Gushui jumps here and Void gets his jump booped, and then both the Sojourn, Kiriko, Lucio, Tracer just W key without using her shift here. Like, look at the positioning that Soul's in. Gushui's jump and Lanx's boop on Void and honestly, Leave's clip on Prophet should have won them this trade. Like, look at this. This is horrible for Soul. This is horrible. But it's a teamwork problem, right? Because Leave wins the mechanical trade. Void loses the mechanical trade. This has nothing to do with the bubbling first and second. Gushui gets a ton of value out of his jump, but his team just like MIAs and Shy slides in. So like, and then the Suzu's late, and then, you know, and it's probably going to snowball from there. Leave just straight up chilled, you know? And so, like, was the issue there like a miscommunication or lack of teamwork or lack of understanding? But like, Leave wins the trade and then just walks away. Void gets his bump juped, and yet bump juped. I'm getting tired, guys. Gets his jump booped, and Shy slides in as if he was being directly landed on. I mean, the Sojourn slide forward can work if we actually had committed there. If we had like amped in and just TP'd in earlier, then that would have 100% worked. We would have juked Void entirely. So it's not the Sojourn slide, guys. It's not Shy. It's the Sojourn slide plus the Tracer not going in, plus my Kiriko not going in with me. You can do either one. Bump Jupe sounds like a rapper name. What up, guys? My name is Bump Jupe. This is a bit of a mistake from Krillin. So, like, you guys saw it with Lengsa. One of the best things that your Lucio could do and needs to be doing in the mirror is this right here. Is a smart jump from Gushui. Do you notice how this is such like a tight mechanical play from Gushui? Like, I don't even know how to describe it to you guys. All the things with Monkey are so hard to scout, but like they're so important. Like, watch this jump, right? He jumps, he plays just outside of Lucio boop range, and then immediately W keys in. That's a monstrously valuable jump from Gushui. That being said, a better Lucio is going to be able to boop this one off. A better Lucio is able to boop this guy off, or boop him back a little bit. But this was a really tight jump from Gushui. And the reason that you know it's a tight jump from Gushui is because how much cleave he's able to get. You bump Monkey away when he jumps so that he can't zap anybody with his gun, so his bubble breaks and he's done nothing with it. You want to do damage and bait attention. This is doing both, but if you boop him, you only bait attention, you don't do any damage. So now, because we've put out so much pressure with those zaps, it's now safe for Monk to TP. Shy sits on the off angle here. How do they lose this, y'all? This is like such a nice... Is it Shy's angle? Because actually here... How, chat, how? I have to investigate. I just don't know. I just don't know. It just doesn't look that good. Like, we either need to be sitting in bubble and Suzuing. Also, not gonna lie, this is pretty trippy. I don't know what Lengsa is doing. So Lengsa should wall right across here. Immediately come up here. He needs to get amp in. I don't know. Where's Leave? This is fine from Leave. Oh, he's so low. Oh, he misses the melee twice and gets his recall forced. And then Monk is just not in a good position to do anything. Monk literally doesn't do jack all. Doesn't get the Suzu, doesn't get the healing. And Shy just doesn't have very good of an angle. I will say Gushui probably should not have jumped. He probably should have trusted Suzu. And then either jumped out after Suzu or something along those lines. Because that is like a hairbreadth away from being a beautiful trade from Spark, but yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Gushui, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing from the rest of his team. Which is not a surprise, right? It's Gushui on a comfort hero, but we're not really seeing people stepping up elsewhere. Like, we should not be losing to Void, Monkey, and Krillin Lucio, respectfully. Void clears Sojourn. Gushui avoids. Gushui is probably going to jump in now. Will Krillin hit the boop? Notice that Gushui tucks in here to avoid damage, right? So that he can also jump easier on the high ground with a low risk of getting booped by Lucio. Prophet gets his Translocator Force. They're gonna beat in. Oh, this is a classical right here. See Varashi. This is a classical. Gu Shui goes in for the greatest jump in the history of the universe because he snuck up on the Sojourn without taking any damage. Check this out. See this? Now he's gonna jump up on Sojourn, take no damage, and not get the boop. Wait. Where are you guys going? Where are you guys going? That's crazy. That's such a this is teamwork. This is a team play right here. We have beat, they don't. Let's run them down. Now, Shy has not used his shift, so I don't know if Shy should not die here if he plays it well. But what that will mean is that they will get capped with this beat and theoretically be able to force out, maybe even kill Leave. I think it's probably worth it. So what happens here? Oh, Shy, what? What? What's going on? We slid into a wall. No. Because this is so simple. We shift out, disengage, we kite the beat, then maybe Leave is vulnerable, right? But no way Shot should be the one dying there. It's a good plan from Seoul, but golly gee whiz. That's just agony. They are going to try and commit it with Primal. He probably saw something. Oh, it's a huge pocket for Lee Sumin. Check this guy's out. Check this guy's out. I'm getting tired, guys. Check this out, guys. Forces Suzu, then immediately turns into Lucio. Huge. Okay, well, this is tragic. They go in hard. The Kiriko Junior gets caught off guard. What's the mistake here, guys? I told you, Junior's having some problems here. Junior's having some problems here. Check this out. Check this out. All right. Junior pushes up, shifts because he's out in open cover, and then immediately they say, no Sojourn shift, no Sojourn shift, let's go. And that's it. He's cooked. Doesn't matter. Where did Suzu go, though? They should have had Suzu. Yeah, see, they also have to use TP on it, too. Oh, it gets blocked by bubble. Yeah. Not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Well, you guys have seen that a lot from Junior. Junior's having a real hard time with the shifts. Void again commits the jump and I mean, it's hard to say because Krillin dies literally as he primals. But I was wondering why this wasn't a faster full cap. We're seeing now. That's tragic. Yeah, not an intelligent shift. Because remember, as soon as ults come online, yeah, overclock as well, that's true. As soon as ults come online, that shift is not used for you to even dodge a dive. It's used for you to survive an ult. You need to be able to survive a dive without using your shift when they have ultimate. That being said, we can take Kiriko ult with high ground. And if Spark don't kite this one out well, this might be okay. We'll probably see a 3-2-1 Kiriko ult here. There it is. There's the beat. This is a bit of a mess. Because it's a tiny choke, right? They're going to Sojourn ult, Shy does. That's reasonable. They're going to walk. Yeah, the beat's late from Krillin. So he actually falls off and then gets booped. Oh no. Oh no. So Prophet was a little early. That means he doesn't have recall. He gets destroyed. Krillin gets booped by, is it Lengsa? No, was it? It might have just been Monkey Jump, y'all. Was it Suzu? What happens to the Krillin beat? I don't know what happens to the Krillin beat. I don't know. I need to watch this again. Maybe it is Boop. It is Boop. It is Boop. I was wondering, it is Boop. That's crazy. How does Shy still die? So many of these deaths feel so earned. So unearned. So he's gonna use his shift to get away. But he should still be okay. He has his shift. He fights in Kirill. He doesn't slide out in time. Where's Monk here? Alright, y'all, listen. I'm gonna be that guy. Monk's Kiri is giving me some serious Sussy Baka vibes. We're beated here. We're full HP, and we have full HP underneath it. We're still healing with beat HP. We Suzu when Shy is at, I don't know. When do we Suzu? Oh, only Shy was at a measly 422 HP, so clearly necessary. Then we miss our healing, take a shot at Winston, get isolated, and split. This is horrible. This is some of the worst play I've seen from anybody in any of the scrims that I've reviewed so far. So maybe Monk had a long day. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Monk is just a fine Kiriko, but this is bad. This is really bad. This is probably the worst play that I've seen from anybody in any of the because I don't even know what the excuse for this is. This is just atrocious. Like, you don't even have your own Kiriko to just like I don't understand that at all. This is a major problem. This is a huge, like, maybe I'm sure it will be fixed by the start of the season. Maybe this is just a one bad scrim block, but Monk's Kiriko has looked really quite bad. Like really bad. Like that doesn't even make any sense. Like I don't even understand that at all. Like that is really, really bad. Fat finger maybe? I mean, maybe, but why are we, but it's not just that. It's that and that and that and that and then that. Like, stop, they're full. Damage, please. I beg you, I'm begging you to damage somebody, and then yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's not just the Suzu. On autopilot? I mean, that's beyond autopilot. That's not even playing the game. So you know, Monk is a great player. He's a great player. But that's really bad Kiriko play. It's really bad. Yo, what's up, John Galt? Hey, listen, John, check this out. Give me your diagnosis. Give me your diagnosis. What do you think of this play from Monk? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Oh no! Oh, guess CSR. Yeah, Owl Lobby. Yeah. I don't know. That is something else. Okay. All right, high ground held. So we would probably see Primal backline here. I'm actually kind of curious how Seoul wins this, because this is a really difficult situation. They stick the Winston to force an early Primal as well, which is really, really good as well, which is nice. But maybe it must be a shot from Shy. Well, no, Shy. Wait, no, they must lose this, right, guys? Do Spark full cap? Who full caps here? I don't even know who full caps anymore. It could be either team. What? He goofs his Suzu. He gets shot by Shy and leave tickles. Just weird Kiriko play, guys. I am not gonna lie. This is some of the strangest Kiriko play. I don't like this angle too much because I think this... I mean, this is okay. But then he Suzus, he messes up his Suzu, and he messes up his TP, and then he peeks again, gets railed, and then dies. This is some of the weirdest Kiriko play I think I've ever seen. There's just no way that Spark full caps this. No way. I just can't be bothered. This is crazy. Like I said, early scrim performance. We've seen Seoul. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie with you guys. Seoul played pretty well in Junkertown. Seoul played, I thought, really quite well on Rialto. But I don't think either team has been playing well on either of these push maps. And this has been consistent with scrims. Every team that I've reviewed has looked good at points, but every team I reviewed, from Atlanta to Glads to Vancouver to Vegas, has also looked really bad at times. London as well. So this is just a crazy tempo play. They go in super hard. This is way too early. Like, there's just no way this should work, guys. Like, this is like ranked moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, Winston goes in literally by himself with Kiriko. The team's not even there, and Prophet just, or Junior just dies. Like the Lou Simmons not even thinking about Suzuing his Sojourn. He's not even looking at his Sojourn. This is really bad, guys. This is a mess. Like, they weren't even ready for that. Like, Lynx is not even ready for Winston to go in at all. Not Lynx, a Krillin. I mean, part of that's just Krillin on Lucy. I'm getting so confused, guys. I'm so tired. Like, we missed the boop entirely. We missed the bell. The amp does nothing. Like, this is horrendous. This is horrible. This is not even a good dive. Like, it's not even a good dive, guys. Like, Gushui goes in by himself for like a solid 3 seconds before Monk even shows up. Leave is nowhere to be seen. Leave is sitting on cart along with 3 other members of, like... this is insanity, guys. Chinese contenders is very different from Korean. Normally, the ways the priority is to fight first, no matter what. That sounds like NA contenders too. NA contenders, whenever there's any doubt, guys, we needed to fight faster. We needed to go first. Yeah, I just think at this point in the scrim, or maybe this point in the execution, I'm flaming these guys just because I'm a little tired, honestly, y'all. But this level of play is not. We're not ready for the season yet. We got some work to be done. Okay. Well, that was that's something. Okay. Well, we're not gonna even get a chance to use our spoils, maybe. Oh no, we will. Pardon me for doubting. What? I don't think it was technically a 1 clip, guys. I'm pretty sure there was some sort of follow-up damage elsewhere. Who would it have been? Surely he doesn't get 1 clipped. Surely. Does he get 1 clipped? Does Monk hit a body shot? Nope. Nope. No way this guy just gets 1 clipped. Yep, that's a 1 clip. Oh my goodness gracious. And then who dies here? How does Shy die here? He slides in. Where's my pocket? Where's my pocket? So a little bit of a headshot there. I mean, there's not a lot that you can do about that. We shift in. The Suzu's maybe a little early, but honestly, just a little bit of a ballsy slide. Doesn't quite get the peel. The Suzu's probably... I don't know. Makes sense, Sean. John Goss just filling in all the voids. No pun intended. Actually, really no pun intended. Gushue is gonna die, or maybe he primals. He primals. We go. That's gonna be a very expensive primal. Oh, what is happening, chat? What is happening? This is complete chaos. People are dying left and right. I don't know why I'm still watching Monk POV. Lynx also gets split, which is pretty crucial because they're going really hard for the Lucio kill, but then Lynx gets overextended, and then also crucially, Lynx is not in a position to peel off the enemy monkey diving in. So that's really unfortunate. Like, Lucio is actually really important to deal with monkey. You need both Lucio and Kiriko to deal with monkey dives most of the time, and if you don't have either one of those, generally, it's especially a good monkey, you need both. Because you need the boop and or the speed to avoid the monkey cleave from bubble, and then you need the Kiriko for just the raw healing itself. The boop itself is by far the most important thing when it comes to peeling monkey. Like, it's just, even just the respect of the boop is what prevents the monkey from getting landing damage, because if you don't have Lucio boop, the monkeys should get landing damage on every single dive, which means they should almost always force Suzu from just a normal dive. So what will I don't know how, this is probably a stick here, a stick or a shot, but I don't, this is a full cap, guys, but this would be shocking to me that Spark full cap this fast. This has to be a major fumble from support ultimates here, because probably the plan here, here's what I think the plan should be. What do you guys think the plan should be for Spark? How does Spark win this fight? Prophet and Profit, yeah, but nobody's gonna be able to do that. I doubt. At least hear the difference. They should rush here when Gushue drops. Yeah. Yo, what's up, Slayer? Yeah, I agree, Pair. I think beat rush enemy Lucio is probably your best play. Beat rush enemy Lucio, force an Ajax. That would be my play. And then if you're I mean, I kind of agree with John. I think we could put a lot of pressure on Gushue here. Like, just drop and rush Gushue, maybe even flip the map, you know? Aw, oh, man. This is just Krillin. I mean, does Krillin screw this up? By the way, this is why Gushue is jumping from here, is because it's so much harder to boop, but this is still boopable. Yeah. That was it exactly. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. And now, if they're able to focus either Sojourn or Kiri, they should be good to go. There's the Sojourn focus, Sojourn dice. Dang. I don't feel like Sojourn should have died that easily, though. Let's see. Was shift necessary? Not really. No. The shift was not necessary, and that's going to kill him. This fight was probably lost either way, but no, the shift was not necessary. So the weak points of Seoul are getting exposed here. Don't beat first, just Kitsune and jump Mega behind team for Void. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, like, you would say just jump in super aggro, like, even, like, behind. Like, yeah, yeah. Let's check out. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. We're TPing away. I do feel like that was been one of the weaknesses with Lee Menace. He doesn't seem to be on the same page with a lot of times. We're moving away from what am I trying to say here? Actually, no, that was Monk with Shy. Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunate. And this is going to be a full cap right there. Like, there's no way that we should lose that. We're essentially in one fight territory now. At least one clean fight. Are we gonna get a stagger? We're gonna get a stagger, aren't we? We're gonna get a stagger, aren't we? No, we're not. No, we're not. Okay, so again, this fight, probably just pop Kiri ult like right now, and then play to survive the beat rush, and then just outvalue it over time. Again, though, I don't feel like you should I don't feel like you should lose this one if you're Seoul. So what I would do if I was Seoul, probably beat rush Shy, and then use your Sojourn ult on top of that if you'd like to. And then if you're Spark, just Curie ult, play around Curie ult, and just play to survive. Sit on your shift though. Dynasty is better, but they're getting lost in the sauce. Yeah, true, Jungle. I mean, honestly, like Spark, we're getting absolutely smoked on the previous 2 maps. So there's a Kitsune Rush. I think it's too aggressive though. I think this is too aggressive. This Kitsune Rush is too close. And if please tell me Shy didn't use shift. Please tell me Shy didn't use shift. I just don't know if I agree with that. Like, even to dodge Winston bubble. I mean, maybe it's okay if we jump Winston. If Winston uses jump, maybe this isn't so bad. Once again, Junior gets caught with his pants down. So can they survive it? Yeah. Because here's what you did. This is why Shy shifted. There's the bubble. There's the jump. Or there's the jump, rather. So then we can completely juke the jump. So what Void needed to do... jump here, wait, and then call beat 3, 2, 1, beat now. I don't know why Junior's caught. The timing's just not there. The timing's just not there. Lisa Min throws here. He TPs to Goose Ray before fight starts. Yeah, agreed. I agree. I 100% agree. This has been a problem with both Kirikos, I actually think. I don't know if it's like some of the old school playstyle like kicking in from like the All Grand Finals, but like so many times we have seen fights thrown because we've seen a Kiriko TP away from her Sojourn, and fights where a lot of ults are going to be used and a shift alone won't keep you up. And then obviously when he's in the air, you can't Suzu him. Yeah. Good catch. All right, final fight. Still very, very winnable. We're going to walk out in Sojourn ult. Will we get there in time? That you're going to choke them out with Primal. The Widow swap's not going to matter. They can't even touch. Dynasty playing it correct. Void jumps to force Sojourn slide, then Soundberry after and chase Sojourn. Yeah. Because the thing is also with Void's jump is he didn't have to use bubble because he jumped to cover. So then if you can wait and then beat 3, 2, 1, go, you will have a bubble and jump to be able to pursue. But yeah, the barrier is late, and then the Kiriko is not there to support the Winston or the Sojourn. Yeah. Yes, it does recently. It actually does, because with new Kiriko, you don't regenerate your cooldowns fast enough to get your second Suzu usually. So even with the increased HPS, if the Sojourn slides into her own Kiriko, it's not awful, but it's not a get out of jail free card, because the Winston will then Void would have pursued with bubble, and you can still kill people through the Kiriko ult with beat, especially if the target focus is there. I mean, John, you've been scrimming this more. You'd let me know what you think, but that's my impression. Most about getting Sojourn getting a slide back a second time, that's true, but I don't think it happens in time. I think there's about a 3-second window where you can get her without it, and I think that's when you can punish. It honestly depends on whether the Sojourn has Suzu or not. So like let's talk about this. So if Sojourn, if they carry ult here and Monk is able to keep Suzu for his Sojourn, 3, 2, 1, like let's say Void comes in now and we're able to Suzu now, right there. Now, in theory, Shy should have shift to get back out again. So yeah, you might be right recently, but you have to have the Suzu for it to work. Otherwise, the Sojourn dies if it's played well. It's like a super little micro detail. It's not a huge thing, but yeah. So TLDR, you can shift into your Kiriko ult to avoid a dive, but your Sojourn, your Kiriko has to bail you out of bail you with a Suzu. Otherwise, you will die before you get your shift back again. So honestly, I will give credit to Spark. In the chaos, they are playing it really well. I think Monk has looked really suspicious. The team play from I mean, really both teams with this composition, but the team play from Spark as a whole has looked a little bit more shaky. Lots of good things to say about Seoul the first half, though. It's kind of crazy to me that this went 2-2 because it just felt like Seoul was the better team, like John was saying. But it you know, the chaos and you know they're winning off of it, you know. And little things like Leave gets a 1 clip, right? Shy hits a shot, you know, that kind of stuff is crazy to me. I will say, though, it is a little more noticeable that things like Krillin and Void, and it's also noticeable that Junior, like this is a comp where you really have to be on the same page. Like the macro is super important, and Junior is definitely struggling more in the Sojourn and that. So I think that's a big thing right there. Okay, chat. Do you guys have any questions about all this? We talked about an unbelievable amount of stuff. I think to me it's just interesting to see that like how performances can differ. Even like though theoretically the team plays there, like there was some struggle there, right? There's some struggle. I think obviously they got bodied on Rialto, which you know it happens, but yeah, the double sniper matchup was cool. The double sniper matchup was really cool. Why did my dad leave? Boy, every single time I ask that question gets asked. It's just it's just exhausting, you know. Who are they building around this comp? So generally, I mean, honestly, before I would have said Sojourn. Now Sojourn definitely has a big impact, but a little bit less so. So it's more of a little bit of everything. I wouldn't say they're building around anybody necessarily. I missed the last couple of Max. How did Little P and Soul do? I think I don't know. I think Lil P or Junior did really well on Junkertown in terms of like mechanics and stuff like that. I think he did okay. It's a little quieter, I think, for the rest of the VOD. Not super impressed. But obviously he has a lot of adaptation to do, right? Like he like the Sojourn is an incredibly teamwork and macro intensive hero. So I don't know. It remains to be seen. I don't want to make a commentary just right off the bat, of course. My teams believe that you don't jump first into Winston unless you have primal or barriers. So Gushui is like playing wrong. Spark just play fast. Yeah. So that's the thing is like I think the problem with like what Gushui was doing with the jump first playstyle is it felt a lot of the time with Spark that they weren't all matching his tempo. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like you go back and watch first fight if you get a chance, John. I don't know if you've seen this code, but like Gushui gets like so much space off of the first jump, and like Shy commits as well, but the backline literally just sits AFK. And then that happened on I think the fight after that as well, where Gushui gets like massive cleave, outplays Krillin's boop, and nobody's there. Like it was kind of a disaster. Yeah, I'm doing all right, John. Doing all right. A lot of private coaching stuff. Hope you've been doing well yourself. I've been seeing you've been posting some streams. You streamed too late for me, sadly. I'm trying to not be in degen mode, but I hope the trials for Singapore are going well. I coached a couple of Singaporean players recently, and every time I hear that they're from, I immediately think of you. It's like just like that. I'm like, I wonder how John's doing. So, do you think that the previous synergy between Gushui, Shy, and everyone else is new? It could be an issue. It could be an issue for sure. Could be an issue. Yeah. I mean, it was so aggressive from Gushui. I mean, I honestly don't even necessarily mind it though. Like, I think it can work. You know, I don't know what's necessarily the best playstyle, but I was just more disappointed that they didn't feel like they were all on the same page with the playstyle. They would just kite Gushui. Yeah. They did end up in a location where they couldn't really kite. That's true. They're all in the corner, right? So I think if they'd kited back towards the opposite direction, it would have been better. Oh, we get two guys on the same page and new guys are lost? Yeah, definitely could be. Yeah, definitely could be. Like I said, guys, every single team I've reviewed has looked really, really weak at least one map. So it's like apparently everybody in Al sucks, guys. Every single time I'm out, there's not a single good team in Al. I know. It's just early season, guys. Oh, there's a room where they were behind. Yeah, is it the Mega or the Mini? I forget what type of health pack is in there, but I know what room you're talking about. I hope it's not Nal right away, but honestly, who knows? Have any teams you've watched particularly surprised you yet? I think Atlanta's team play was a little bit surprising to me. I think Atlanta, at least from the couple of maps I watched, team play looked pretty nice, which was good. I think there's a lot of like good and bad surprises. I think London's spam comp looked the way they were executing it versus dive was a little bit surprised. Like they did a really good job with it, but then their brawl comp was like really surprisingly bad. And then like Vancouver looked really nice versus Vegas and Colosseo with the Winston, which was a pleasant surprise. I think Atlanta Rain's teamwork was surprisingly good. I don't know. Everything is surprising this early in the season. You know what I'm saying? Which teams look shakiest to you? I don't know. I honestly don't even want to say because I don't even really know. I mean, obviously, Vegas is probably the weakest team that we've looked at here, but that's not exactly surprising at all. Sugar Free? I haven't seen enough Sugar Free to know. I haven't watched enough POVs. Like that's something that we'll get into in the season when we have like actual matches, you know, we'll study POVs like we did towards the end of the finals. Vegas and Valiant. Honestly, I don't even know what the Valiant's roster is. Like, I don't even know the Valiant situation, y'all. Like, I don't even know what's going on, y'all. Have you looked at the New York Excelsior code yet? I'm not going to be looking at the New York Excelsior code. I heard it was a bit of a rough match, and I don't know. I think I would prefer for the roster to like actually be announced and for them to get off to a good start. Like Vegas at least has the excuse that they've been playing for a little while. I don't know. At some point, guys, like I'm also not going to be reviewing any more Vegas VODs moving forward either. I don't want to gang up on these guys. Seeker, Into S, Crawley, Paintbrush, CJ. Is the Nixel code the one that leaked with comms? I don't think so. I think that's the one that linked versus Trick Room. Or was that Trick Room? Is that what it's called? That contender team. You could find it on Reddit, I think. Somebody in chat maybe can link it to you. Yeah, I don't know. At some point, it just kind of feels like bullying. So, I don't know. Like, I don't want to sit there and just, like, smash on these guys over and over and over again. So, I'm not going to be doing any more Vegas leaks if anything comes out. Probably not going to do any New York leaks. It's just, I remember that the whole point of these, like, is to, like, learn something. And if I feel like a team is struggling a lot, then I don't see, if somebody's struggling objectively, then it's not, like, I don't know, it just seems like, ugh, I don't know. I want to learn something from watching. Like, I felt like I learned something today, you know? Yeah, I've been in that position before with like really rough teams, or like when team with confidence was like really low as well. Because I think Vegas is objectively a not very skilled team, but Vegas could also surprise a lot of teams. It's happened before. It happened even a little bit last season. I don't think London was like the mechanical warlords, right? So I don't also want to be trashing on those guys when you know, confidence could be like the key for them. And I also, there's not as much to learn. And also, it's just not a very nice thing to do. So if there's a match, I'm not going to avoid bad teams because, oh no, I don't want to, you know, it's disrespectful, but I also don't want to go out of my way to like review that. Thoughts on Spark? I mean, Spark had their moments. More mechanical moments than anything else, I would say. Kiriko comp, the Moira comp, very similar. Has a lot more flexibility with how they can like rotate and move though, because Kiriko is just a more flexible hero. Reaper and Tracer. Reaper plays tighter sightlines. Tracer controls more space, more open space. You should make a preseason ranking list video. I don't want to do that stuff, y'all. I just don't. I don't personally. I know it's what most people find fun. And I, as a kid, like I was obsessed with like sports rankings when I was a kid. Like I would always be like, who's the best running back in the NFL? You know, who is the best this, or my top 5 players or whatever. I love that stuff, but it was just like, it's like super like casual, you know what I'm saying? Because it's super fun, right? But like for me, it's like I'm cursed with knowledge to the point to where like it's like I know my own limitations, you know what I'm saying? So I feel stupid making rankings because I know I could never know the rankings, you know? And I know that's not a very fun mindset to have, but it's too late. I'm cursed with it. I can't do it anymore. Best Kiriko player you've seen so far? I mean, I don't know. I think Lee Min-soo, or I think, I want to say, I can't remember how to pronounce his name. Looked like he was doing well on the Kiriko play on Rialto, but I don't know. He's not Platchet, yeah, but I don't want to like bully on Platchet either because like their job is to entertain, you know, and they're pretty educated guys too, right? So it's not like complete guesses, but it's just I just know, yeah, Platchet has to be entertained, right? People watch me for my analysis, but I think there's probably like a hard ceiling of like how popular it can get because I'm not very spicy, and that's just how it is. Moira comp got played in scrims? No, it's more like this comp, the Moira, like the Sojourn Lucio comp is similar to like the Moira Reaper comp way back in the day. And I guess the question was like more as how does it operate in comparison to that Moira comp back in the day? Platchet is a YouTube channel, like a podcast that does a lot of rankings with like some of the yeah. Is there any Boston Games leagues? I don't think so. Although those would be pretty spicy, I'm sure, because like, you know, very big name players, you know. Player rankings are mostly subjective, agreed. Mostly. They're objectively good players, they're objectively not so good players, but there's a lot of like nuance, you know, there's like a wiggle room of like 20 to 25%, you know, so it's like, it's hard to say, you know. Tactical crouch, yeah, tactical crouch is good too, yeah. So I guess for me, it's going to be like, you know, waiting to see how the season goes out, doing some analysis, maybe doing, like I said, the top 5 plays, kind of a play, something, or top 3 plays of the week, and just do some underrated or secret plays that you might have missed, or some cool strats. Is Moira playable top 500? Yeah, she's playable.